Family Cultivation. I can improve my magic weapon. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 26 Zhuxiantu. As a market for cultivating immortals, this place is indeed a mixed bag. Fortunately, because this is a market founded by Yang Mountain, and there is a giant and patriarch sitting in charge, a rule has been made that no fighting can be done in the market. The safety here is still guaranteed. Chen Qingyun looked around for a while, and then strolled slowly on the street. Following Chen Qingyun's advice, after coming here, Chen Qingyun found that there were a wide variety of elixir shops here. He had seen no less than 50 along the way. He strolled around for a while. Chen Qingyun did not rush to Zhuxiantu, but inquired about the recent prices of magic tools in a store called Shenbingfang. After communicating with the shop owner, he learned that the price of magic tools was not much different from what was expected. A first-level low-grade magic tool costs about 50 spirit stones. A first-level medium-grade magic tool costs 150 spirit stones, and so on. After knowing the situation, Chen Qingyun could be sure that the recycling price of the two copper flying blades was between 2,600 and 2,700 spirit stones. As long as the recycling price given by Zhuxiantu was within this range, it would be fine to sell them directly. After leaving the divine weapon shop, Chen Qingyun came to an antique shop and walked in slowly. The shop was called Zhuxiantu and was divided into two floors. It was the one recommended by Chen Qingyun. After entering, there were only 2 or 3 customers in the shop. A monk who looked like a waiter saw Chen Qingyun enter and immediately greeted him with a smile. "You are here. All the items sold in this shop are reasonably priced and fair to all. Feel free to buy them." The waiter was very warm and hospitable. Looking at him like this, Chen Qingyun could also guess how big the competition was among the major shops in the Black Cliff Market. Because those who can open shops here are either rich or noble, with a rich family background. Either it was built by a big family or a sect. No matter which one, the identity and status of the monks sent here as clerks are naturally much higher than those of independent cultivators. Logically speaking, it is obviously unlikely for them to be polite to independent cultivators and treat them as God's hospitality. It is good enough for a big store not to bully customers. How can we expect them to treat customers with all their heart and soul? But in this Black Cliff Market, the actual situation is that the clerks in the major stores, and even the store owners themselves, will show enthusiasm to every customer. Such a scene will appear. One is that Yang Mountain has stepped forward to rectify and want to create a good and pleasant trading atmosphere. Another point is related to the fierce competition here. Because there are too many stores here, in addition to price wars, the most important thing is service. Let me ask, at similar prices, will customers choose those with good service attitude or those with bad service attitude? Of course, they want to buy at a good price and be treated comfortably. Because of this, in order to boost their own profits, all the major stores have worked hard on service, and tried their best to provide the most basic services. This has led to a saying in the Black Cliff Market. It doesn't matter whether you buy or not, it's good to come in and take a look. This is the most widely circulated saying in the Black Cliff Market, and is often used when the store entertains guests. The clerk in Zhuxiantu has obviously received professional training. At this time, the clerk entertained Chen Qingyun with enthusiasm and always greeted him with a smile. Don't hit a smiling person. Chen Qingyun naturally wouldn't embarrass the other party. Looking at the scene in the store, he couldn't help but think that the family had rented a store at a high price in the Black Cliff Market 2 years ago and started selling spiritual medicine. It's a pity that at that time, due to the limited family finances, they owed a debt because of raising spiritual stones to open a store. The store was only open for less than half a year, and it closed down due to too much competition and poor management. The family wanted to step into the Black Cliff Market and share the dividends here, and the idea was aborted. This made the family have no idea of opening a shop here for a long time in the future, even until now. In order to ensure the sale of the family's resources, They had to choose to cooperate with several shops in the market to earn spirit stones. In this way, although there is no risk of the store losing money and closing down, it will earn less profit. The most intuitive thing is that if the family sells a spirit scallop by itself, it can earn 1 spirit stone for 3 spirit scallops. But according to the purchase price of the cooperative store, it becomes 1 spirit stone to buy 4 spirit scallops of the Chen family. In this comparison, it will earn less money for 1 spirit scallop. However, there is no way. Who made the family unable to run a shop for the time being, so they can only give up part of the profit in exchange for such a steady cooperation method. If the family wants to grow and develop in the future, it will eventually have to open a shop belonging to the family, and have its own shop industry. With a sigh in his heart, Chen Qingyun couldn't help but envy the prosperity of Zhuxiantu. It is not easy to maintain such a large store in the Black Cliff Market. At least, the Chen family can't do it. I don't know what specific purchasing needs you have, whether you want to buy elixirs, magic tools, talismans, or formations. I can recommend them to you. Seeing that Chen Qingyun was a stranger and seemed to be here for the first time, the waiter did not show contempt, but smiled even more. In his opinion, it was Chen Qingyun, a cultivator who had just arrived, who would not bargain. He was much easier to talk to than those experienced old customers who had visited many times. Looking at the waiter in front of him, Chen Qingyun carefully sensed that he was also a cultivator, and his cultivation was about the 3rd level of qi refining. Although this level was not high, he was able to stay here as a waiter, and his knowledge and experience were probably far beyond the cultivators of the same age. Greeting him with such a smile and asking proactively, Chen Qingyun smiled slightly and told him the purpose of his visit. I want to sell some demon pills first. I wonder if your store is willing to accept them? Do you want to sell demon pills? The waiter heard it and responded very familiarly, "Of course, please follow me." As soon as the voice fell, he led the way in front and took Chen Qingyun to the direction of the counter. When they arrived at the counter, a female cultivator with bright eyes and white teeth, who looked about 18 or 19 years old, looked at Chen Qingyun. The waiter came forward and greeted her, and whispered to the female cultivator, "Do please take out the demon pill and put it in this wooden box. I will appraise the value of the demon pill for you later. Please." The female cultivator took the initiative to speak, and with a bright smile, she stretched out a jade hand, indicating Chen Qingyun to put the demon pill in the wooden box on the counter. Chapter 27 Qi Refining Pill. Like the guy, this woman is also a monk with a cultivation level of the 5th level of Qi refining. She also seems warm and friendly in her words and deeds, making it impossible to feel disgusted. The hospitality alone made Chen Qingyun feel that the subsequent transactions would be pleasant, and choosing this store was the right decision. Chen Qingyun didn't hesitate and took out 7 demon pills from the storage bag and put them into the wooden box. The female monk's eyes fell on the wooden box. She stretched out her slender hand, picked up a demon pill and looked at it. Chen Qingyun did not speak and waited quietly for the result. Since Zhuxiantu has the business of purchasing demon pills, he is naturally proficient in all kinds of demon pills, so he shouldn't have to ask the customer what kind of demon pills are in the wooden box. The 1st level middle grade fire cloud lizard demonic pill. After just a moment, she recognized the origin of the demon pill and nodded slowly. The remaining 6 pieces also appear to be from the fire cloud lizard. For the specific price, please wait a moment, fellow Taoist, and I will take a closer look. Good. Continue to wait for a while. The female monk began to carefully examine the remaining demon pills, and she was immersed in it the whole time. It was not until she finished checking that she raised her head and smiled at Chen Qingyun. Fellow Taoist, 5 first-order low-grade coins and 2 first-order mid-grade coins. The former will give you 10 spiritual stones, and the latter will give you 20 spiritual stones. What do you think? The female monk quoted the price and estimated the price of these 7 fire cloud lizard demonic pills very accurately. 90 spirit stones. Chen Qingyun calculated it and found that the price was not much different from what he expected. The price of a first-grade low-grade fire cloud lizard is indeed 10 spiritual stones. Yes, I can give you 90 spiritual stones for purchase. The nun nodded. In terms of price, her price is indeed fair. Fellow Taoist, if you think the price is too low, you can go to other stores and ask. If you feel that the price offered by any store is more in line with expectations, then just sell to that store. The female monk suggested this. Since it was a store recommended by Fifth Sister and the price was right, there was no need to worry anymore. Chen Qingyun immediately made up his mind. Fellow Taoist, wait a moment. Seeing that Chen Qingyun agreed to sell, the female monk looked happy and immediately took out paper and pen to record the transaction. Immediately, she took out 90 spirit stones and counted them to Chen Qingyun in person. After getting the spirit stone, Chen Qingyun was quite satisfied with the transaction. He took advantage of the situation and asked whether to recover the magic weapon. We will also collect the magical weapons and ask fellow Taoists to show them. The female monk said with a smile. Chen Qingyun took out the copper flying blade. The female monk looked at it carefully and showed surprise. The first-class magic weapon. Then, she said with some embarrassment, fellow Taoist, these magic weapons are too precious. Please go to the second floor and ask my shopkeeper to buy them. To be honest, there are not so many spirit stones here at the counter. She had to make a temporary change and ask Chen Qingyun to go directly to Zhuxiantu's shopkeeper for recycling. The recycling price was too high, so she couldn't make the final decision. It would not be good to charge more or to charge dozens less spiritual stones. After Chen Qingyun heard this, he slowly put away the magic weapon and did not rush upstairs. He wanted to ask about the elixir again. What else do you need, fellow Taoist? The female monk's voice came, and it became clear that Chen Qingyun still had a need to purchase. I need some pills to increase my cultivation during the qi refining period. Chen Qingyun said. Well, I can make the decision regarding the elixir. The female monk nodded slightly and asked, I wonder which elixir you are interested in, or do you need our store to recommend it to you? You guys recommend it. Good. When the female monk heard this, she groped on the shelf behind her very skillfully. After a while, she took down a jade bottle, opened the cork, poured out a pill and presented it in front of Chen Qingyun. This is a qi refining pill recently refined by the alchemist of Yaoang Mountain. It is a top-grade first-class pill that can increase the qi refining monk's cultivation. One pill is enough to be worth 2 years of hard training. The female monk slowly introduced. The price of this bottle is 410 spiritual stones, 5 in total. Do you like it, fellow Taoist? Chen Qingyun listened quietly, and a light gradually emerged in his eyes. The elixir for increasing one's cultivation is overbearing in its effect and can shorten the time of hard training, so it is expensive, several times more expensive than other elixirs of the same grade. Although this qi refining pill is expensive, it is the best-selling first-level elixir and is very popular among qi refining monks. This is another elixir produced by Yaoang Mountain, and its quality can be said to be of extremely high quality. Is one of the 5 sects in Xinghai. Yaoang Mountain is famous in Xinghai for its excellent alchemy skills. It is a holy place for practice that countless alchemists and spiritual planters yearn for. As long as the elixir produced by Yaoang Mountain is ranked second in the Sea of Stars, no one dares to be ranked first. It is no exaggeration to say that the elixirs from Yaoang Mountain are of excellent quality and their quality is guaranteed. This is recognized by everyone. The qi refining pill in front of me has nothing to criticize in terms of price or place of production. If it is sold cheaply, there may be something fishy about it. There are 5 qi refining pills in one bottle, which is enough to break through to the 6th level of qi refining. However, I don't have so many spirit stones in my hand now, so I have to go upstairs and sell the magic weapon. Holding back on the thought of purchasing for the time being, Chen Qingyun asked about the soul skills again, and they happened to ask about them together. Fellow Taoist wants a spiritual practice. The female cultivator muttered to herself after learning about Chen Qingyun's purchase needs, and pondered for a while. In Zhuxiantu, in addition to the business of elixirs and spiritual medicines, it also takes into account the business of magic tools, skills, talismans, and formations. The coverage is still very comprehensive. After all, these are all cultivation resources, and no matter which cultivator needs to use them, there is no need to worry about the lack of market. However, she is temporarily unable to meet the purchase needs of such skills. She can only suggest that Chen Qingyun go up to the second floor, and let the shopkeeper of Zhuxiantu contact him. Fellow Taoist, I'm really sorry, I can't make the decision on this spiritual practice. You might as well go up to the second floor to find my shopkeeper. The female cultivator smiled at Chen Qingyun, and when she looked at the second floor, her face showed respect. It seems that there is a person she respects very much there. After hearing this, Chen Qingyun turned around and stepped onto the second floor without hesitation. Compared to the first floor, the second floor is much quieter and has no guests. The layout here is also much simpler, far less prosperous than the first floor. Looking over. Not far away, in front of the antique screen. A woman in green is sitting in front of the desk, holding a slender brush, writing something seriously. When she saw Chen Qingyun coming over and found that it was a stranger, she just greeted him calmly. Fellow Taoist, don't be restrained, please sit down first. As soon as the voice fell, the woman in green continued to lower her head and write quickly. It seemed that she wanted to finish the business at hand first. In front of her, a sandalwood slowly rose up white mist, exuding a faint herbal fragrance, which made people feel relaxed and happy. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 28 Mahavairochana Sutra. Quiet, elegant and gentle. This is the feeling that emerged in Chen Qingyun's heart after seeing the woman in green. Without interrupting, Chen Qingyun was also curious at this moment. He sat on the wooden chair next to him and looked at the girl in green. Even though the woman in green lowered her head, she was writing attentively. Chen Qingyun could see the other party's delicate and beautiful face, with a strand of green silk hanging down by his ears. Looking further down, there is the glittering lips. A neck as white as jade. A graceful body wrapped in verdant green clothes. Especially those hands, the fingers are slender, white and flawless. They look particularly beautiful. This made Chen Qingyun couldn't help but take a second look. The monks all have good looks. Chen Qingyun has seen many beautiful hands, but this is the first time he has seen such beautiful hands as the woman in green. Just these hands made Chen Qingyun remember at a glance. On the left hand, a blue-green bracelet also embellishes the hands with a bit of ore. Chen Qingyun's eyes couldn't help but follow her handwriting. I don't know how long it took before I saw the other party slowly writing, and his jade hands like gelatin slowly put into his sleeves. Fellow Taoist, I have been waiting for a long time. Some accounts need to be recorded carefully. My name is Liu Zilin, and I am the shopkeeper of Zhuxiantu. What do you call me? Liu Zilin said with a slight smile, and then she looked at Chen Qingyun carefully. In her opinion, Chen Qingyun's clean and neat appearance, with extraordinary appearance, obviously does not look like a casual cultivator, but rather seems to come from a sect or family. She is Liu Zilin. Unexpectedly, Liu Zilin would announce her name. Chen Qingyun nodded and did not hide anything. He simply introduced himself. My name is Chen Qingyun. Hey. As soon as Chen Qingyun finished speaking, Liu Zilin's eyes lit up and she couldn't help but look at Chen Qingyun again. Your surname is Chen, but you are a fellow Taoist from the Chen family on Linjian Island? Seeing Liu Zilin's reaction, he guessed his origin. She seems to have some relationship with the Chen family and has obviously dealt with them. Chen Qingyun asked subconsciously. Oh, Senior Liu knows about the Chen family? Nature knows. Liu Zilin nodded slightly and spoke softly. Then, Chen Qingyun must be your elder sister. I have dealt with her several times, so I have some impressions of your Chen family. She is indeed my clan sister. Chen Qingyun nodded. Your clan sister has a gentle temperament and is good at refining weapons. She will definitely have a bright future in the future. I also quite like her temperament. I haven't seen fellow Taoist Qingyun for some time. I wonder how she is doing lately. Liu Zilin asked, not knowing whether she was really concerned or just asking out of politeness. Sister, clan, everything is well. Thank you, senior, for your concern. Chen Qingyun responded politely. The other party also knew that the fifth sister was as a weapon refiner, so they seemed to be familiar with each other. Now that he was sure that the woman in front of him had some friendship with the fifth sister, Chen Qingyun asked the doubts in his heart. My sister accidentally mentioned that someone once helped her and saved her life. The person I want to talk to is you, senior. Well, if you're referring to the monster attack that happened on Ziazu Island 3 years ago, that would be me. Ziazu Island, monsters attack. Chen Qingyun secretly wrote it down. Okay. If you are curious about the specific reason for this, you can go back and ask her. Liu Zilin did not go into depth on this topic and asked Chen Qingyun the reason for his visit. What do fellow Taoists want to buy this time? When Chen Qingyun heard this, he immediately stated his purchase requirements. After listening, Liu Zilin nodded slightly. The Divine Soul technique is a niche technique. Fortunately, you were lucky and found the right time. I gained a few from a Zaifu casual cultivator in the past few months. With that said, she turned around and rummaged through the shelves nearby. After a while, he came to Chen Qingyun with a jade slip. Look at this, it's a foundation building technique. She didn't introduce much and directly handed the jade slip of the Kung Fu to Chen Qingyun. The skills in the world of cultivation are also divided into grades, and they are all named after the realm of cultivation. For example, Qi refining exercises, foundation building exercises, Zaifu exercises, etc. Each level of skill corresponds to the limit to which it can be practiced. The foundation building technique can only be practiced to the foundation building stage at most. The same principle applies to the Zaifu cultivation technique, which also deals with the highest cultivation achievements. It reaches the top when you reach the peak of Zaifu. Whether it is Zilenshan or the exercises sold in shops in Defang City, there are protective restrictions set up to maintain confidentiality. Through spiritual consciousness, the monks can only read the relevant introduction of the technique, but cannot get a glimpse of the specific content of the technique. Chen Qingyun took the jade slip, released his spiritual consciousness, read the contents, and soon his eyes lit up. The Great Sun Meditation Sutra. Indeed, as Liu Zilin said, this is a divine soul technique. This Great Sun Contemplation Sutra can achieve the effects of tempering the soul by visualizing the sun and absorbing the energy of the rising sun. The technique can be practiced up to the peak of the foundation building stage. This level of skill. For Chen Qingyun, it is enough to satisfy his cultivation for a long time in the future. At least before reaching the Zaifu stage, there is no need to look for other spiritual skills to practice. As for higher grade techniques, they are more expensive and are completely out of the range that Chen Qingyun can purchase. Soul type exercises. This is the best one in our shop, and it's also the one that's most suitable for you. Liu Zilin said slowly. Its price is 2,100 spiritual stones. If you think the price is a little expensive, you can also look at a technique that is one level lower than it. Liu Zilin's strength has reached the early stage of foundation building. In front of her, Chen Qingyun's cultivation realm was clearly visible, and it was impossible to hide it from her discerning eyes. This is why she dares to say that this Great Sun Meditation Sutra is the most suitable for Chen Qingyun. 2,100 spirit stones are indeed not cheap. Chen Qingyun does not have so many spirit stones on his body now. Liu Zilin saw Chen Qingyun's embarrassment, and with a faint smile, handed the other two lower-grade Qi refining techniques to Chen Qingyun. Chen Qingyun took it, unfolded his spiritual sense and checked it for a while, but had no idea of buying it. Qingyun, Yan Hunju. Little soul foraging technique. Although the next two techniques can temper the soul, they can only be practiced up to the 8th level of Qi refining. In other words, even if you start practicing, it will only have the effect of a short-term practice. Instead of doing this, it is better to spend more money and buy the Mahili Sun Meditation Sutra. The door on your left hand has 990 spiritual stones, and the door on your right hand has 930 spiritual stones. Liu Zilin saw that Chen Qingyun was not interested in these two techniques, but she showed seriousness and quoted a price. Fellow Taoist Chen, my suggestion is that it is best for you to start the Great Sun Meditation Sutra. When monks buy exercises, they need to take a long-term view, and at least buy exercises that can satisfy the need to practice at the next great level. This is also the experience of many seniors, and it is also the advice I give you. It's exactly what Liu Zilin said. Mahili Sun Meditation Sutra is very suitable for purchase needs, but the price is a bit expensive. Chen Qingyun consumed a ray of spiritual energy due to the last time he refined the earth elemental puppet, and it has not recovered yet. Whether it is to restore spiritual consciousness or to refine more puppets in the future, this technique must be purchased. There are still some spiritual stones left, so let's sell some more items. Thinking of this, Chen Qingyun first proposed the idea of selling magic weapons. Hearing this, Liu Zilin nodded and said, "Let me take a look at what magic weapon Chen Dao wants to sell first." Chen Qingyun did not hesitate and took out 2 copper flying blades from the storage bag. Chapter 29 Street Market. As a native sea cultivator, he has the ability to open a market shop here. Liu Zilin has a profound knowledge and can skillfully identify various spiritual minerals, medicinal materials, monsters, etc. Seeing the first-class top-grade magic weapon appear in Chen Qingyun's hand, she quickly saw the extraordinariness of it. A first-class top-grade magic weapon made of ground fire purple gold copper. Not bad. How many spiritual stones can this be exchanged for? Chen Qingyun nodded and asked. Ground fire purple gold copper is a specialty of Wuan Island, and its production capacity is scarce. In addition to taking out a sum of offerings to Xingzong, the rest of the ground fire purple gold copper is basically not sold to the public. This also leads to only a very small number of ground fire purple gold copper can flow into the market. Ground fire purple gold copper is therefore expensive, and it is not easy for ordinary cultivators to buy it. Earth fire purple gold copper is an extremely superior refining material, which can be used to refine first-class magic tools. In recent years, the best-selling magic tool on the market, the Qingguang sword, is made by adding a little earth fire purple gold copper to Wuan Island. To be honest, I have opened the shop for 3 or 4 years, and I have only seen a second magic tool made of earth fire purple gold copper besides the Qingguang sword. Liu Zilin sighed slightly, looking at the purple copper flying blade in her hand, with a strange light surging in her beautiful eyes. These 2 purple copper flying blades are of excellent quality, and they must have been refined not long ago. I can give you a price of 1,350 spirit stones each. What do you think? Are you willing to take it back for me? As for where Chen Qingyun got this purple copper flying blade, Liu Zilin was tactful and did not ask. A cultivator in the middle stage of Qi refining like him holds a valuable treasure in his hand. He has been engaged in the shop business in the market for a long time, and he has seen a lot. There are countless opportunities in the Starry Sea, and it is not surprising that cultivators often explore treasures in ancient caves and gain opportunities. Among them, there are naturally many bandits who sell stolen goods. Bandits often sell the magic tools, storage bags, or valuable items of the killed cultivators in exchange for spirit stones. The young man in front of him is not a bandit cultivator. Bandit cultivators, not necessarily. In Liu Zilin's opinion, Chen Qingyun's face is young and he comes from a family of immortal cultivators. He must have just left the family to gain experience, and he would not do banditry so soon to make a living. So she guessed that Chen Qingyun must have been lucky and got these 2 copper flying blades. Paying attention to Liu Zilin's expression, Chen Qingyun nodded secretly after learning the recycling price. The recycling price of 2 700 for 2 copper flying blades exceeded his expectations. There is no need to hesitate. Chen Qingyun agreed to the price, returned the copper flying blade to Liu Zilin, and the two successfully completed the transaction. Chen Qingyun spent 2,100 spirit stones to buy the Great Sun Visualization Sutra, and he also received an additional 600 spirit stones. The spirit stones obtained from this transaction were dozens more than expected. Fellow Taoist Chen, I have another formula to remove the restriction of the technique. I will tell you at the same time. Thank you. After getting the technique, Chen Qingyun had no intention of staying any longer, and immediately said goodbye and went downstairs. Then he spent 410 spirit stones to buy a bottle of qi refining pill from the female monk at the counter. After leaving Zilantian, seeing that it was still early, Chen Qingyun simply wandered around the street market in the market. This street market is an area that exists in every market. It is a place for monks to trade freely, with all kinds of strange things, and it is also the easiest place to pan for gold and be deceived. You only need to pay a spiritual stone to the market manager as a stall fee, and you can set up a stall here for a day and sell your items. The cultivators who set up stalls here are mostly casual cultivators. This is the area where casual cultivators often come to trade. At the same time, this is also a place where fakes and defective products are prevalent. Buying things depends on personal eyesight and experience. This is the first time Chen Qingyun has come to this street market, and he found that there are many more cultivators here. It is estimated that half of the cultivators who come to the market come here. There are many casual cultivators here. If you think about it carefully, the pockets of casual cultivators are not full. How can they afford to go to the shops in the market to purchase magic tools and resources there? They will think about coming to the street stalls first. See if you can find a bargain and spend the least spiritual stone to buy the items you want. Of course, the water here is very deep, and you need to identify the quality and value of the items yourself. There are mixed reviews about the street market. Chen Qingyun took a few glances. Unlike what one might imagine, it wasn't that noisy here. Most of the cultivators sat cross-legged beside their stalls with their eyes closed, and would not actively solicit customers. They would only say a few words when someone asked about the price. The appearance of Chen Qingyun attracted the attention of some casual cultivators. They guessed that Chen Qingyun was a family cultivator. This outfit was much neater and better looking than theirs, and it was not a sect-style outfit, so it was easy to recognize. This made them take a few more glances, with some envy in their eyes. In the eyes of casual cultivators, family cultivators would have a much better life than them. Family members could work together to do big things, manage resources, open shops, etc. Even if they worked hard, they could buy foundation building pills. It's just strange that a family cultivator wouldn't be so shabby as to come to the street market. Facing the looks of several casual cultivators around him, Chen Qingyun was still secretly alert. Even though he knew that he couldn't use force in the market, he had a foundation building technique and a bottle of qi refining pills on him. Whether it was casual cultivators or family and sect cultivators, it was quite attractive. However, these casual cultivators only looked at him for a few times, and then ignored Chen Qingyun as if he were air. Chen Qingyun looked around the various stalls by himself. Most of the stalls sold magic tools and monster materials. The second was spiritual medicine, and there were a few strange items. I didn't know what they were until I asked. It is worth mentioning that many stalls did not have a complete range of items. For example, the ones nearby mainly sold monster materials. It was clear at a glance that the stall owner killed the monster and brought it here to sell, and didn't want those shops to buy it at a low price. Secondly, there are some low-level spiritual medicines that are picked from nowhere or grown by themselves. For example, the common yellow bud grass, magnolia, ice branches and leaves, etc. It is rare to see magic tools, spiritual medicines, elixirs, formations, and monster materials sold together. Because once such a situation occurs, it is likely that the bandits killed people and robbed treasures and came here to sell the stolen goods. Such bandits appearing in the street market are also likely to arouse everyone's vigilance. Bandits are very cautious in their actions, and naturally they will not be stupid enough to reveal their identities and cause trouble for themselves. Therefore, The types of items on all stalls are relatively simple, and the quantity is not large. Chen Qingyun looked around and stopped in front of a stall. Chapter 30. The remaining picture. The stall owner of this stall is a tall, thin monk, in his 30s, wearing a large black toga, with an unattractive appearance. When he saw someone coming to his stall, the person raised his eyes slightly and took the initiative to say hello. "Little brother, see if there is any treasure you want." Chen Qingyun remained calm and glanced at the stall. "I saw an old magic sword placed on the stall. A brown storage bag. A yellowed and broken map. A small shield artifact." Chen Qingyun was a little interested in the two magic weapons. At least no matter what the quality is, it can definitely be broken down. The current strength is too low to strengthen the magic weapon and sell it. It is better to keep it for yourself and then strengthen the earth puppet to increase the strength. Chen Qingyun pointed to the two magical artifacts and asked about their price and grade. The magic sword is 55 spiritual stones, and the shield is 62 spiritual stones. They are both first-level low-grade magic weapons, so there is no negotiation on the price. The stall owner quoted lazily. "The price is not expensive." Chen Qingyun took a casual look at the other storage bags. He had no need to buy them, so he didn't ask any questions. When his eyes fell on the yellowed map, Chen Qingyun's eyes narrowed slightly, and he remembered the fragment of the map on his body, which was particularly similar to the one on the stall, and seemed to be from the same one. Seeing this, Chen Qingyun asked, "What is this shabby map?" When the stall owner heard Chen Qingyun's inquiry, he glanced left and right, restrained his cultivation aura, and signaled Chen Qingyun to communicate via voice. Chen Qingyun didn't know what kind of medicine the other party was selling. "Fellow Taoist, are you attracted to this picture?" The other party's message was transmitted at this time. When Chen Qingyun heard this, he remained silent. He just glanced at the fragmented picture again, and then reviewed the fragmented picture on his body based on his memory. He was more certain that the positions of the gaps were more accurate. This is obviously another residual picture that needs to be found. "Fellow Taoist, although this is only a half of a broken picture, the information recorded in it is not simple. It is said that it is the opportunity of the cave left by a real person from Zaifu. My luck is still shallow, and I haven't found another residual picture so far. So it's better to replace it with a spiritual stone. If fellow Taoists are interested, just buy 100 spirit stones." Hearing the stall owner's message, Chen Qingyun just nodded slightly and prepared to bargain and try to buy it with the least amount of spiritual stones. Seeing that Chen Qingyun seemed to be hesitating, the stall owner simply took out an identity token from his arms and showed it in front of Chen Qingyun. "To be honest, I am a handyman disciple of Xing sect. It was just a coincidence that I found this broken picture this time. However, I didn't have enough strength. I didn't want to take advantage of my fellow disciples and be killed during the treasure hunt, so I reluctantly sold it." As he spoke, the identity token in his hand was revealed in front of Chen Qingyun. Chen Qingyun took a closer look and saw that it was a cyan identity token. It was indeed engraved with the word Xing sect's handyman disciple, the name Fandatong, and the detailed disciple number. As the first sect in Xinghai, the identity tokens of Xingzong's disciples are easy to identify and no one dares to forge them. Once found out, they will be severely punished by Xingzong. Therefore, the other party has no reason to forge this thing to cause trouble. It's just a broken picture. The whereabouts of the other one are unknown. I don't know if it exists. Knowing the origin of the other party, Chen Qingyun bargained directly. 50 spirit stones. 50 spiritual stones can't be sold. If you can't sell them, if you sincerely want them, I might as well give you 90 spiritual stones. The stall owner looked embarrassed and shook his head repeatedly. Seeing this, Chen Qingyun turned around and left. This caused the stall owner to shout quickly, Hey, fellow Taoist, wait a minute. 70 spiritual stones for you, but it can't be lower." In the end, Chen Qingyun spent 70 spirit stones to buy the map. After putting the map away, Chen Qingyun turned around and left the street stall market. Chen Qingyun was not in a hurry to compare the two residual pictures. Instead, he wandered around the market aimlessly and found an interstate dot in the inn. He took out another residual picture from his body, and merged the two residual pictures into one, forming a complete map. At this time, after looking closely at the information on the map, a cave was marked, located on a deserted island called Psychedelic Island. This Psychedelic Island is located in the Xingsha Islands, more than 2,000 miles away from Hefang City. The Psychedelic Island. Recalling his knowledge of the surrounding waters, Chen Qingyun knew about the existence of this island for the first time. Looking back at the film and television novels I have read in my previous life, the protagonists always gathered map fragments to gain opportunities. For example, Diane's search for the pure lotus demon fire in Hedong and Hexi in 30 years was also pieced together from residual pictures. Since today, by chance, I got another residual picture here, I will take a detour to take a look when I go back. To be on the safe side, Chen Qingyun did not rush to the Psychedelic Island. He stayed in the inn for 2 days, and on the third day, he left Fangxi. When Chen Qingyun left Hefang City, a figure used the breathing technique, and with the blessing of a hiding talisman, began to follow Chen Qingyun silently and from a distance. It was the tall and thin monk who sold the map. After flying more than 90 miles out of Hefang City, Chen Qingyun was worried that someone was following him, so Chen Qingyun drove his Hunyuan boat and deliberately circumnavigated the sea area of 600 miles around, wandering aimlessly for half a day. It was not until noon that they flew more than 2,300 miles to the southeast of Hefang City and arrived at a small island, which was the deserted island recorded on the map. This is the Psychedelic Island. After taking out the map and carefully comparing the location to make sure that they were not wrong, Chen Qingyun drove the Hunyuan boat and slowly landed on the island. The island was rocky and the coastal area was covered with sand and stones. The vegetation was much more lush near the center of the island. Although it was called a psychedelic island, there was actually no psychedelic scene, and it was not much different from many uninhabited islands in the sea. There is actually spiritual energy on this island. I think there is a spiritual vein that can sustain the cultivation of cultivators. After stepping onto the island and putting away the Hunyuan boat, Chen Qingyun felt the spiritual energy of heaven and earth flowing around him. There are many islands with spiritual veins, whether in the inner star sea or the outer star sea. Many casual cultivators will occupy an island and live and practice in the spiritual veins on the island. Some of the more powerful independent cultivators even took in wives and concubines and established a family of immortal cultivators. The Chen family of Lingjian Island developed in this way. Back then, Chen Taixu, the ancestor of the Chen family, knew that the Purple Mansion was hopeless. After discovering a second level superior spiritual vein on Lingjian Island, he killed the foundation building monster Bishui Moing on the island and occupied Lingjian Island. He began to branch out on Lingjian Island and took shape as the Chen family. Looking at the existence of spiritual energy here, it is indeed easy to attract cultivators to settle here. Since I'm new here, I'd better use the earth puppet to explore the way first. When going out, it's better to be safe than sorry. Chen Qingyun would not rashly wander around the island. He took out the earth puppet, controlled the puppet to perform the earth escape technique, and went underground. The map records that the cave is located in the southern part of the island. The current earth puppet has a maximum control distance of 500 feet. If Chen Qingyun really found something unusual within this distance, he would have enough time to react. When Chen Qingyun used the earth puppet to explore the way. On the psychedelic island. A figure followed Chen Qingyun closely and landed quietly. It was the tall and thin monk who had been tracking him. You stayed in the market for 2 days. It would have been fine if you didn't buy some magic tools and elixirs for me to accept. You also detoured for 500 or 600 miles on the way. You were so idle that I used 6 hiding talismans. Well, you can't catch a wolf without sacrificing your child. After I finish this job, I will retire and buy some qi refining pills to retreat on this island. When I come out of retreat, Zhu Tanzang, you bastard, I will grind you to ashes and kill your entire family. The tall and thin monk said viciously, with a strong murderous intent in his heart. Chapter 31 Killing Formation. This Zhu Tianzang is not a bandit cultivator or a thief cultivator, but a genuine family cultivator. More than 4 years ago, he was stopped by Zhu Tianzang because he killed 2 independent cultivators and Xing's on-errand disciple Fan Natan outside the Black Cliff Market. It was also in that battle that he was defeated and fled with serious injuries. In the following years, he always held a grudge against this matter and wanted to seek revenge on Zhu Tianzang to understand the grudges of the past. However, his strength was 2 small realms lower than Zhu Tianzang. If he really wanted to seek revenge, he could only find a way to improve his strength. So, he racked his brains and designed a forged treasure map. In order to increase credibility, he also divided the map into 2 and set up a fishing trap. There are countless bandit cultivators like him in the Star Sea, and they are inexhaustible. The major immortal clans and sects can only kill them if they meet them, and if they don't meet them, they will just let them go. Since the tall and thin monk used the chi condensation technique to hide his own breath and move silently, he was already an experienced tracker. He followed Chen Qingyun from a distance, and would stop and hide immediately if he saw something wrong. Chen Qingyun controlled the earth puppet and came to the southern area of the island. When he came here, the spiritual energy around him became more abundant, which further confirmed that there was a spiritual vein here. He walked towards the area with richer spiritual energy, and soon a small hill appeared in front of him. In the hill, an old cave appeared, which was not very eye-catching. Chen Qingyun, who was more than 400 feet away, saw the cave in the hill through the earth puppet. It seemed that it had not been lived in for too long. The entrance of the cave was full of wildflowers and weeds. It seemed that the cave had been abandoned for too long. Chen Qingyun stopped and did not rush in. He decided not to take risks easily, so he let the puppet go in and explore first. Since the last time he witnessed the 5th sister controlling the earth puppet to explore the nest of the fire cloud lizard, he secretly learned and mastered this exploration skill. Compared with risking his life, it is more appropriate to have a puppet leading the way and acting as a scout. Resisting the urge to enter the cave, Chen Qingyun continued to control the earth puppet to move. Why did this kid stop? He was so patient after seeing the cave. In the distance, the tall and thin monk who had been following and hiding his figure saw that Chen Qingyun did not move again and stayed where he was, and couldn't help frowning. He is a cautious boy, but it's a pity that he still came here. I wonder if you can get in. While he was muttering on Chen Qingyun's side, the earth puppet continued to enter the cave silently in the form of burrowing underground. As soon as he entered, Chen Qingyun noticed something wrong. Formation. Through the earth puppet, he found that there was a formation in operation in the cave. There were formation flags standing on the ground around it, and it was obvious that the formation was already in operation. Did a cultivator set up a formation here? And the most important point is that this formation does not look like a guarding or defensive formation. It is more like a killing formation, filled with a strong killing intention. This is interesting. If this is a cave left by a cultivator, then the existence of this killing formation is to prevent the cultivator from disturbing the peace, or is it a deliberate trap set by a later comer? The power of this formation is unknown, and its origin is unknown, so naturally it is impossible to go in and try its power. In order to verify the guess in his heart, he continued to explore in depth, and it was as expected. In the cave, Chen Qingyun found the figures of 2 cultivators. They were a tall and a short cultivator in black robes, who were holding a magic weapon and looking at the entrance of the cave in a dormant posture. Judging from the situation, it seems that they knew someone was about to enter the cave, and they were waiting to launch an attack. Seeing this, Chen Qingyun smiled bitterly and couldn't help but sigh secretly. Fishing, to set a trap, killing people and taking treasures. At this moment, Chen Qingyun's mind emerged, outlining the real situation in front of him. Obviously, this is a trap. If it weren't for being cautious, he would have controlled the earth puppet to explore the way. If it were me who took the risk, I would have been in a killing array the next moment, and was surrounded and killed by these 2 bandits. What a good map opportunity. The stall owner, under the guise of a fragmentary map, also showed an identity token of a disciple of the Star Sect. combined with another fragmentary map on Chen Qingyun's body. This is much more credible. In the TV dramas and novels of the previous life, the protagonist obtained a fragmentary map of treasure from the enemy, and then encountered another one on the street stall, and then got a complete map. Take this complete map to explore treasures, and then you will make a lot of money. But when he got here, the real situation here was a premeditated trap for fishing and stealing treasures. Seeing this, Chen Qingyun had no intention of staying any longer. While secretly recalling the earth puppet, he summoned the flying cloud boat and prepared to evacuate. Strange, didn't the third brother just say that a family cultivator took the bait and came to the outside of the cave? Why hasn't he come in yet? It's not easy to deceive people with the identity of a disciple of the Star Sect and the trick of dividing the map into two. In the cave, the dormant short cultivator said puzzledly. He was ready to do what he did the last time. As long as he saw a cultivator who took the bait, he would use his killer move to attack without thinking twice and cut off the other person's head with one sword. However, after waiting for such a long time, he still didn't see the other party come in. Not even a ghost, which was really strange. Wait a little longer. With the golden signboard of Xingzong, how many people have been fooled by us? Don't they all think that if they get a fake map, they can report to Xingzong? Humphrey, but we are not afraid of them reporting, so we will kill them one by one to silence them. I think this kid is a little cautious. We have to be patient and don't expose ourselves. Another bandit cultivator said in a voice transmission. His fingers were already on the flying sword, ready to attack at any time. The cold light of the flying sword was also hidden, making it difficult for people to detect. The two were about to wait a little longer. At this time, the voice of the tall and thin cultivator sounded. That kid must have discovered something unusual and is about to run away. Let's do it now. The voice transmission was full of urging. Upon hearing this, the two bandit cultivators looked at each other. Swish. Swish. They immediately used their bodies, controlled the light body technique, and rushed out of the cave. Outside, Chen Qingyun had just summoned the Hunyuan boat, but before he boarded the boat, a knife light quickly attacked behind his head. Chen Qingyun frowned and dodged to the side. The knife light almost touched the tip of his hair, shot past with a swish, and hit the rocks not far away with a bang, exploding a burst of dust and gravel. Whoosh. Then a black figure suddenly appeared, controlling 8 black blades, and once again launched a fierce attack, attacking Chen Qingyun. Chen Qingyun acted like a conditioned reflex, and without thinking too much, summoned the Qingguang sword and slashed at the blades that came at him. Chapter 32 Puppet shows power. Ding ding dang dang. A series of metal interweaving sounds rang out, and the Qingguang sword successfully blocked the attacks of these blades, exploding with sparks. 8 blades were blocked, and then under the control of the tall and thin monk, they flew back to him together with the previous blade. 9 blades, arranged in an arc, pointed directly at Chen Qingyun, emitting a cold light that made people feel creepy. It's you. Taking advantage of this gap, Chen Qingyun's expression condensed and recognized the monk in front of him at a glance. It was the stall owner he had seen in the Black Cliff Market before, the so-called Xingzong errand disciple. Just now, if he rashly went in because of greed for the opportunity of the cave, it would undoubtedly be a sheep entering a tiger's den and would be trapped in a killing array. He would also be hunted by the 2 monks in the cave, and he would probably be trapped in it. The routines of this bandit cultivator are really endless. When the transaction was completed, the other party repeatedly reminded him to buy more equipment before taking action. Plus the Xingzong disciple token. This is to dispel the doubts of the deceived. After all, Xingzong disciples can report directly to Xingzong to cheat people by selling fake maps. However, what Chen Qingyun did not expect was that this business was not just as simple as cheating spirit stones. The other party killed a Xingzong disciple, and then wanted to impersonate the other party's identity to cheat and do such a business of killing people and stealing treasures. Today, I encountered the routine of this bandit cultivator. 5th level of Qi refining. I underestimated you. Seeing Chen Qingyun resolve his attack, the tall and thin cultivator snorted coldly, and at this time, Chen Qingyun's cultivation state could be seen. This kid is also slippery, he didn't even enter the cave. At the same time, the other two bandit cultivators came quickly. The two of them surrounded Chen Qingyun, one on the left and one on the right, and joined the tall and thin cultivator to surround Chen Qingyun. The fact is just as Chen Qingyun thought, there is no cave opportunity here, it is just a bait carefully set by the three bandit cultivators. Little bastard, you are so young, I really underestimate you. The other short monk glanced at Chen Qingyun fiercely. At the beginning. Hearing the eldest brother's message that Chen Qingyun found something unusual, he got up and ran. He subconsciously thought that it was an experienced old monk who saw the clue. Those old monks are more calculating than them, they have a vicious eye and rich means, but they are not easy to provoke. Unexpectedly. At this time, when he saw Chen Qingyun, who looked like a young man of 16 or 17 years old, he suspected that Chen Qingyun had changed his appearance to pretend to be young. But looking at Chen Qingyun's dress, he was a typical monk from a family. Is he here to pretend to be a pig and eat the tiger? When he thought of this, the short monk gnashed his teeth even more. What are you still standing there for? At this time, the tall and thin monk urged. He looked at the flying sword in Chen Qingyun's hand, which could easily resist his black dragon blade, and it must be at least a first-level medium-grade magic weapon. This family monk, like the previous ones, is probably a piece of fat meat, and he can't let him run away. Let's do it together and kill him. With the tall and thin monk's shout, the other two bandit monks heard it and urged their magic weapons to surround and kill Chen Qingyun. 3 magic weapons came one after another, and Chen Qingyun frowned, but he didn't dare to take it lightly at all. He hurriedly controlled the Qingguang sword to deal with it, and used the light body technique to dodge quickly. Among the 3 bandit monks, the strongest one was the tall and thin monk, who reached the 6th level of Qi refining. The magic weapon, the black dragon blade, was also a first-level medium-grade. This magic weapon is a bit strange, consisting of a black dragon-shaped mother blade and 8 blades. Once this kind of magic weapon is activated, it is like 9 flying swords coming out at the same time, which is hard to defend against, and Chen Qingyun has to focus on dealing with it. Fortunately, the grade of the Qingguang sword has reached the first grade upper grade, which can be easily dealt with. The gap between the magic weapons was reflected at this moment. The Qingguang sword met the Oolong's Immu blade, and immediately blocked its attack and shook it away. This also made the tall and thin monk's eyes cold, and he felt that the Qingguang sword was not simple, and his greed became stronger. Looking at the other 2 bandit cultivators, due to long-term killing and robbing treasures, they have earned a lot of spiritual stones, and the magic weapons in their hands are not bad. One of them is in the 3rd level of Qi refining, and the other is in the 4th level of Qi refining. They are all flying swords, and the grade is the 1st grade middle grade. These 2 people are not a threat, just be careful not to be attacked by the other party. Chen Qingyun's main target is still the tall and thin monk. Wow. The Qingguang sword turned in the air, taking advantage of the gap, and slashed towards the short monk. Not good. The short monk saw this and his expression changed. He quickly sacrificed a green shield magic weapon and protected himself. As the magic power was injected crazily, the green shield magic weapon emitted a burst of light and blocked the green sword with a clang. Even so, the shield magic weapon still trembled violently, and cracks spread on it. The green sword was powerful and it cut through the shield magic weapon. Ah, my magic weapon! The short monk couldn't help but scream in pain when his own defensive magic weapon was broken with one blow. Chen Qingyun took advantage of the victory and attacked, controlling the green sword to cut again. With a click, he cut the shield magic weapon open. The short monk panicked and retreated quickly. The green light sword almost touched his chest, scaring him so much that he broke into a cold sweat. First class, high-quality magic weapon. On the other side, the tall and thin monk finally saw the grade of the green light sword, and murderous intent emerged in his eyes. He used the Oolong's Immu blade to attack Chen Qingyun crazily. Every time this magical weapon strikes, the blade is as fast as thunder, and the power of a single blade is comparable to an ordinary flying sword. Chen Qingyun easily dodged several times, but fortunately there was no danger. As for the tall monk, he is only at the 3rd level of qi refining. Chen Qingyun hit him with a green light sword, but the opponent didn't dare to get close, so he could only use the magic talisman to attack and contain him. With the 16th round of fighting, Chen Qingyun once again avoided the attack of the Wulong's blade and secretly controlled the earth puppet. From the beginning to the end, the earth puppet has been hiding well, brewing attacks underground, looking for opportunities to take action. This is Chen Qingyun's trump card, and his strength is a little higher than Chen Qingyun. While the opponent was concentrating on using the Wulong's blade, he wanted to fight with the blue light sword. Chen Qingyun's eyes flashed with coldness, and he operated the earth puppet and quietly came to the feet of the tall and thin man. Whoops! In a flash of lightning, the earth puppet rushed out of the ground holding a long sword. This Chen Qingyun's trump card stabbed the tall and thin man fiercely with his long sword facing the sky. At the 6th level of qi refining, coupled with such a sudden attack, the tall and thin man would never have thought that Chen Qingyun could attack him underground. There is no way to guess the existence of Tushing puppet. The opponent had no time to dodge this sword, and was stabbed hard by the sword. The long sword penetrated his lower body, causing the tall and thin monk to let out a hysterical scream. Ah! The screams from the tall and thin man made the other 2 bandit cultivators look askance. Does this kid have any help? No. It seems to be a puppet. The 2 bandit cultivators exclaimed one after another, and their eyes fell on the Tushing puppet. Looking at the state of the tall and thin man, he had been severely injured and fell to the ground, bleeding everywhere. His eyes were fixed on the tall body of Tushing puppet, his face full of fear. "Ah, puppet!" From the 6th level of qi refining, he exclaimed with a roar in his tone. At this time, he no longer even had the thought of fighting again, and was extremely afraid of Chen Qingyun. Chapter 33, Small Thousand Sword Formation. They found out that they had underestimated Chen Qingyun. Not only is the flying sword artifact's grade not low, it has reached the 1st level of high grade. There is actually a puppet at the 6th level of qi refining in his hand. If he had known this earlier, Chen Qingyun would have run away first instead of him. With the help of such a powerful puppet, he still hid until now. For a moment, the tall and thin monk was filled with despair and looked at Chen Qingyun with a look of fear. He wanted to escape, keep his life, and seek revenge later. However, his body was severely injured and he could not get up again. He could only grit his teeth fiercely, wildly activate the Wulong's blade, and hit Chen Qingyun. Trying to resolve this puppet by solving Chen Qingyun. However, this is all just self-righteousness on his part. He couldn't fight against Chen Qingyun before, so who would be his opponent now? Chen Qingyun's expression turned cold, and he had already activated the green light sword. The flying sword turned into a stream of cyan light and slashed straight through. Facing this sword, the tall and thin man could not dodge. The surrounding accomplices are also taking the initiative to distance themselves from Chen Qingyun because they are afraid of the Tushing puppet, and they don't care about the life or death of the tall and thin monk. Ah! The next moment, there was a scream. A bloody light flashed, and the tall and thin monk was beheaded with one strike of the green light sword. Brother! Hateful! Seeing the tall and thin monk being beheaded, the remaining 2 bandit cultivators changed their expressions in horror. Knowing that they were no match, they immediately fled in panic. They left separately, not caring about taking the tall and thin monk's storage bag. The battle has ended here. The other party is a bandit cultivator who kills people and seizes treasures, and they all have their plans on him. How could Chen Qingyun let them go? Go! Chen Qingyun's expression was cold, and as he waved his hand, the earth puppet escaped again and chased the short monk. There was a huge disparity in strength between the 2 of them. The short monk was overtaken in a blink of an eye and faced the attack of the Tushing puppet in a panic. The tall figure of the Tushing puppet was in sharp contrast to the height of the short monk. He swung his long sword to slash, knocking away the opponent's magic sword with one move, and then split the opponent with one sword. Chen Qingyun himself, wielding the azure light sword, chased the tall monk, but he caught up in an instant. "I have no intention of killing you. I was coerced by them. Please let me go." The man looked horrified and quickly begged for mercy loudly. "I am willing to make a blood oath not to embarrass you again in the future." Not to mention Chen Qingyun. He was far from a match for that earth puppet. He was so timid at the moment that he simply talked nonsense and blamed the fault on the two beheaded accomplices. "I can't leave you alone." Chen Qingyun spoke coldly, urging the green light sword to slash out. As the flying sword roared, a stream of cyan light was drawn out. The tall monk's expression changed drastically, and he quickly activated his magic weapon to resist. But he was far from Chen Qingyun's opponent. There was no need for our earth puppets to come to assist. Chen Qingyun broke through the opponent's defense in one fell swoop, and wiped the opponent's neck with his sword. The head of the last bandit cultivator rolled to the ground, and the magic weapon in the air also fell and returned to dust. After killing the three bandit cultivators and the battle ended, Chen Qingyun immediately put away the storage bags and magic weapons of the three. Immediately, a fireball came down and destroyed the bodies of the three people. Not forgetting to let the earth-walking puppet control the earth-walking magic to erase all traces of the battle on the ground. After doing all this, Chen Qingyun secretly breathed a sigh of relief. This battle was 1 against 3. Even though he won in the end, Chen Qingyun clearly realized his own shortcomings. This battle is very dangerous. If it weren't for the assistance of the earth elemental puppet, he would have killed the tall and thin monk at the critical moment. Once the fight continues, they may be killed by the opponent due to their numerical advantage. More importantly, it is not clear what other cards the other party has. The attack of the earth puppet was a surprise. Secondly, it was relying on the azure light sword that he could easily suppress all the magic weapons of the three of them, giving Chen Qingyun an advantage. This battle also proved the importance of magic weapons to monks. This made him more determined to continue strengthening the magic weapon. 1 or more good magic weapons can indeed enhance a monk's combat effectiveness. This is the experience summed up through actual combat. Finally, we have to talk about the shortcomings of our own magic weapon. After this battle, Chen Qingyun discovered that every time he resisted the opponent's attack, he had to fight hard with the green light sword. Or just cast a spell to dodge, and there is no defensive weapon to resist it. I'm lucky this time. I didn't encounter any tricky magic weapons. It's hard to predict the next battle. After I go back, I need to buy a defensive weapon. With an idea in mind, Chen Qingyun waited until he finished resting and recovered his magic power, then got up and walked towards the cave. This time, he continued to let the two Xing puppet take the lead and enter the cave to investigate. After trying several times, it seems that the killing array can no longer be triggered due to the death of the three bandit cultivators. Even so, Chen Qingyun still did not dare to enter carelessly. It took him some time to find the flag of this killing formation. A total of 6 formation flags were combined into a formation called the Small Thousand Swords formation. This formation has reached the first level high-grade level and can release thousands of flying swords to kill enemies. If a cultivator in the late stage of chi refining is trapped in this killing array, he will definitely be pricked like a hedgehog. Not to mention a cultivator in the middle stage of chi refining. The strength of these three people is not very strong. They mainly use this small thousand sword array to trap and kill cultivators and do the business of killing people and stealing treasures. If I had rashly stepped into the array before, with my cultivation, even with the earth puppet, I would have only fallen. I can't fight against this small thousand sword array at all. I almost got caught. Chen Qingyun felt a little scared just thinking about it. If he really entered the cave and triggered the small thousand sword array. On the one hand, he had to deal with the attack of the killing array, and there were 3 bandit cultivators outside the array staring at him. He was far from being an opponent. Fortunately, when the earth puppet was exploring, it was moving from underground and could not trigger this array. With the help of this small thousand sword array, they don't know how many cultivators they have killed over the years, and how many people died in vain under this array. Chen Qingyun sighed slightly. After controlling the earth puppets, pulling out the formation flags one by one and dismantling the formation, Chen Qingyun personally stepped into the cave. After some investigation, he found many traces of battles left by cultivators around. There were several broken magic tools, rotten clothes, etc. scattered on the ground. This undoubtedly verified that many cultivators had indeed died in vain here. The cruelty of the world of immortal cultivation is often so cruel, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. Chen Qingyun sighed in his heart and continued to investigate, and soon found out the origin of the owner of this cave. Chapter 34, Benefiting the Family. This cave was left by a senior who had built his foundation. This person was named Zhuxiantu, a cultivator born and raised in Xingsha Islands. He was well known in the casual cultivation world and had reached the late stage of building his foundation. More than 60 years ago, Zhuxiantu fought with others and injured his body. After trying various elixirs to treat him, he was in vain. He used up all his spiritual stones and finally chose to sit and die in this cave. The Zhuxiantu sword formation in the cave was specially set up by him. It was to protect his peace after death, so that his body would not be eaten by monsters and become a tool for the magic cultivators to refine. But he didn't expect that this cave, along with the Zhuxiantu sword formation, was discovered by the three bandit cultivators. The three bandit cultivators, in the later period, did not know what means they used to circumvent the attack of the killing formation and turned this place into a fishing killing site. They did this for 6 or 7 years and were not discovered. As the saying goes, if you walk along the river, you will get your feet wet. They have now fallen into the hands of Chen Qingyun, and it can be said that evil has been punished. Chen Qingyun took action and killed 3 bandit cultivators, and also avenged those cultivators who died in vain in this cave. After wandering around the cave for a while, Chen Qingyun's next focus was on the spiritual vein here. What surprised him was that the level of this spiritual vein had reached the 2nd grade lower level. As long as it is used properly, it is entirely possible to establish a cultivation family here and develop some resources. It is not in vain to come here to explore the cave today. At least, this 2nd grade spiritual vein is a big harvest, which can be handed over to the family for good use. The 2nd grade spiritual vein is comparable to the spiritual vein of Linjian Island. It is enough to meet the needs of opening up spiritual fields and planting spiritual medicines. Understanding the value of this place, Chen Qingyun was happy and took out the communication flying sword as soon as possible, contacted the family, and sent a message to the clan leader. When taking on the task of guarding Zhenhai Island, Chen Xianming gave Chen Qingyun a communication flying sword. The communication flying sword is a communication tool, and it itself does not belong to the category of magic tools. It is good at flying fast, straight, and can set confidentiality prohibitions to protect privacy. It is convenient for communication, and many immortal families will use it. The location information and basic situation here were simply injected into the communication flying sword, and then the prohibition was set for protection. The communication flying sword turned into a stream of light and flew straight to Linjian Island. The protection prohibition was inherited from the family, and only the Chen family could read the information in the communication flying sword. Otherwise, if it was read forcibly, the communication flying sword would be directly damaged, which was equivalent to ensuring privacy and security. At noon that day, after receiving the communication flying sword, Chen Xianming immediately set off and came to the psychedelic island in person. Qingyun, you have a good chance to find the 2nd level spiritual vein here. Chen Xianming used the flying boat and landed in front of Chen Qingyun. Where is the exact location of the spiritual vein? It's near the center of the island. Clan leader, come with me. Chen Qingyun called out, and brought Chen Xianming to the foundation building cave. Looking at the scene in the cave and feeling the rich spiritual energy of heaven and earth around him, Chen Xianming's eyebrows were full of smiles. Look, at this grade, at least it's at the lower 2nd grade. Good, good, good. The Chen family has only one spiritual vein, which is the clan's Linjian Island. This makes the family's resource industry, whether it is spiritual medicine planting, spiritual scallop breeding, or some spiritual fields, all develop and multiply on Linjian Island. The Chen family wants to grow in the future. With the increase in the number of cultivators, cultivating high-level cultivators, it is obviously not enough to have only the spiritual vein. It is easy to have a shortage of spiritual veins and be unable to maintain the operation of the family. I didn't expect it. This 6th grade grandson of mine has been away from the family for less than a year. Now such a 2nd grade spiritual vein has been discovered. With this spiritual vein, the family can fully develop resources. Maintaining the spiritual practice required by the subsequent clan members is not a problem either. A spiritual vein is too practical for a family. It is no exaggeration to say that the spiritual vein surpasses the value brought by hematite. Spiritual ore is a short-term resource. Spiritual vein is a long-term resource. Chen Qingyun was full of smiles, looking at the spiritual vein of this cave for a while, happy like a child. Until he realized that as an elder, he was a little out of control in front of the younger generation. Then he restrained his expression, calmed down, and asked with a smile, "Tell me about the process of discovering this spiritual vein. Weren't you stationed on Zhenhai Island before?" "Okay." Chen Qingyun heard that there was nothing to hide from the clan leader, and he carefully repeated the whole story. At the beginning, when he heard that Chen Qingyun went to the Black Cliff Market to purchase elixirs, Chen Qingyun remained calm and nodded secretly. If Chen Qingyun's cultivation level increases, this is what he hopes to see. Until he heard about Chen Qingyun's experience at the Black Cliff Market stalls, where he spent 70 spirit stones to buy a map, his brows slightly frowned. "And did you get the opportunity of a cultivator's cave?" "No." "Hee. Did you find that you were cheated?" Chen Qingyun smiled bitterly. Chen Qingyun was smart and guessed something immediately, and smiled bitterly. "Tell me about it." Guessing that there was a follow-up to this matter, and it was related to the spirit vein, Chen Qingyun immediately became interested. "It is indeed as the clan leader said. The map is not only a scam, but also a trick to fish for money and kill people." Chen Qingyun recounted the subsequent pursuit and killing on this island. Chen Qingyun listened quietly, and the more he listened, the more he frowned. When he heard that the 3 bandits had set traps in the cave and killed countless cultivators, his face showed anger. These bandits are really the cancer of the cultivation world. Their methods are more sinister and vicious than each other. Fortunately, you did not rashly enter the cave to take risks. If you encounter them again next time, you must be more careful and carefully identify these scams. The clan leader taught you that? Chen Qingyun nodded, knowing that the clan leader was doing it for his own good, and continued. But it was a blessing in disguise. It was because of this incident that we had the opportunity to discover this spiritual vein. Opportunity is not as important as life. Thinking of the killing trap set by the 3 bandits, the old clan leader felt his scalp tingling. Alas, people's minds are hard to predict. The intrigues and deceptions in the world of immortal cultivation are often so cruel and real. If you encounter such things again in the future, you'd better stay away from them and don't get yourself involved. Chen Qingyun kindly reminded. When the family guided you into cultivation, they also taught you some of the travel experiences of the family elders and what they saw and heard. I think you have heard a lot and know how to keep a vigilant heart to look at these things and avoid some troubles. The old patriarch began to chatter. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 35 2000 Merits. It turns out it is completely worthwhile and very foresight for the family to pass on the travel experience of the elders in the family and train future generations. This inoculates the young monks in the family in advance against all kinds of scams and tricks in the world of immortality. It can alert these younger generations and avoid a lot of trouble. These are all words gained from experience. It was accumulated by the family's seniors and even the clan leader through their own personal risks. It is very precious. After talking for about half a stick of incense, Chen Xianming stopped and did not ask Chen Qingyun what other gains he had. He could imagine how thrilling it would be to fight the three bandit cultivators. Chen Qingyun was able to fight back against them, so he must have some tricks up his sleeve. This was a good thing, as it showed that he had the ability to protect himself, and there was no need to worry about the sixth grandson being bullied outside as before. Thinking of this, Chen Xianming looked pleased. Chen Qingyun was not only able to see through this killing scheme, but he also took action to kill the three bandit cultivators, eradicating three scourges for the world of immortality. This alone made him look at Chen Qingyun with admiration. The ignorant boy who was once ignorant of the world has now grown up and can carve out his own world. Discovering such a second-level spiritual vein for his family also made him excited. There are successors to the Chen family. You did a great job. The more Chen Xianming looked at Chen Qingyun, the more satisfied he felt. He reached out and patted Chen Qingyun on the shoulder, smiling. Qingyun brought hematite to the family, and you even discovered a second-level spiritual vein. Having you two in the Chen family is a blessing to my Chen family. Speaking of this, thinking that everything in the family is developing in a good direction, and that Chen Daoren, Chen Qingfeng and others are also stepping forward to contribute to the welfare of the family, Chen Xianming's eyes are slightly sour and his tone is choked. You were born into the Chen family, and it's hard on you. Not only do you have to take care of your own practice, but you also have to take care of the family. It's also my fault as the leader of the clan that I am incompetent for not being able to provide you with an excellent cultivation environment and obtain superior cultivation resources. Otherwise, I wouldn't have let you take on the task of guarding the mines at such a young age, so that you would have encountered these dangers in advance. Seeing the old man in front of him sighed. Patriarch, the family is our root. If I don't care about the family, how can I still care about outsiders? Chen Qingyun's words made the old patriarch's eyes moist, and he couldn't help but turn his head to the side to hide his strange look. Yes, family is our root, our root. He repeated these words, and after a long time, he looked at Chen Qingyun again, showing a solemn expression. Qingyun, you have made a great contribution to the family this time. According to the clan rules, if you report a first-level spiritual vein to the family, you can get 500 points of merit, a second-level spiritual vein of 2,000 points, and so on. Now, I can make the decision for you and record 2,000 merit points for you. Tell me, what do you want? Chen Xianming asked. The merit points obtained by clan members can be exchanged for various cultivation resources in the family. 2,000 merit points can also correspond to 2,000 spirit stones. Regarding this point, Chen Xianming and Chen Qingyun discussed this in detail. If you say you want spirit stones, 2,000 spirit stones, the family's current treasury is empty, so you definitely won't be able to get them. You may not believe it. As the leader of the clan, I have less than 60 spirit stones, which is not as many as you. The old tribesman's words surprised even Chen Qingyun. He obviously didn't expect that the patriarch's net worth would be so shabby. No one would believe it if he heard it. The net worth of a foundation-building monk is not as good as that of a qi-refining monk. I see that your current cultivation level is at the 5th level of qi refining. I expect that you will have the opportunity to build a foundation in 10 years. As for the foundation establishment pill, the family is unable to obtain it, so you don't need to keep these merits and think about redeeming them for the foundation establishment pill in the future. Why don't you take a look at the family's resources and see if there's anything that interests you? As long as I can afford it, I'll give it to you in exchange. Chen Xianming said slowly. The price of a foundation building pill is 10,000 spirit stones. The current situation of the Chen family is indeed as Chen Xianming said, and 2,000 spiritual stones cannot be obtained. There is no way to obtain a foundation building pill. Needless to say, Chen Qingyun accumulated 10,000 merit points and redeemed a foundation building pill from his family 10 or 20 years later. Now, we can really only see what the family has and exchange it for what. Facing the inquiry, Chen Qingyun did not rush to answer, but lowered his head and thought for a while. Frankly speaking, what he needs most right now is naturally the magic weapon. Once you have more magic weapons, you can decompose a lot of strengthening points to strengthen all your magic weapons. It's natural to think so. But if you think about it carefully, problems arise. If a large number of magic weapons are exchanged to the family, this will undoubtedly cause an unfavorable situation for the family. A large part of the water and fire robes and red iron swords currently refined by the family are sold to earn spiritual stones to supplement the family. Without the income brought by these magical instruments, the family economy will plummet, which will not only affect the family's operation, but also affect the cultivation of the clan members. Chen Qingyun would never do anything like this that would harm the family and hinder the cultivation of his clan members. Chen Daoran, in order to improve the strength of his tribe, did not hesitate to spend his own time refining more magic weapons. It can be said that he is making selfless contributions and is admirable. Chen Qingyun knows how much energy it takes to refine equipment. Therefore, the family magic tools cannot be touched. Even if he can exchange the family magic tools in large quantities, Chen Qingyun can't think of how to explain it. What do he need so many magic tools for? Sell them to earn spirit stones? Isn't this going against the family, and one's own family is bullying one's own family? Since the magic tools cannot be moved, then the only things Chen Qingyun can be interested in the family are elixirs and exercises. In terms of elixirs, the family is also short of money. The elixirs produced by themselves are not enough for the family to divide, so don't make trouble at this time. Besides, I have also purchased qi refining pills, and I don't need to use elixirs to break through my cultivation in a short period of time. So soon. The only thing left is to exchange exercises. As for exercises, what exercises are you interested in? When asking this question, Chen Qingyun quickly had an answer in his mind. There is really one. And I want to have it urgently. At this moment, his mind was full of thoughts. After sorting out the relationship between them, Chen Qingyun felt that his thoughts were clear. So, he raised his eyes slightly and slowly said, "Clan leader, I have made up my mind. I want to get a technique first." "What technique?" the clan leader asked. "Tell me." "I want the complete technique of the 5 elements puppetry." 5 elements puppetry. Chen Xianming's expression moved when he heard this. He thought of something and looked at Chen Qingyun with some doubt. "Did Qingyun teach you the earth element of this technique?" Chapter 36 Complete 5 Elements Puppetry. In addition to Chen Xianming himself, the 5 elements puppetry technique has been practiced. At present, it has only been taught to Chen Qingyun. It is also good for her to build an earth puppet to assist in mining and manage the veins. Chen Qingyun is now guarding the hematite with Qingyun. I think he has come into contact with the earth puppet and knows the existence of this technique. What puzzles him is that this technique is not very powerful. What does Chen Qingyun want to do with the complete version of the technique? This earth puppet is also weak and consumes divine thoughts. At the beginning, he also repeatedly told Chen Qingyun not to refine a second one. What is Qingyun thinking? Seeing the look of the clan leader, Chen Qingyun told him the truth about the acquisition of the technique, but the matter of strengthening the puppet was kept as a secret and was not disclosed. "I said, it turned out that Qingyun really gave it to you." Chen Xianming pondered for a moment and said solemnly, "Although I only taught Qingyun the earth element chapter as a reward for her taking over the hematite, I do have the remaining 4 chapters of gold, wood, water and fire here." Hearing that the clan leader really had a complete version of the technique, Chen Qingyun's eyes lit up and he was filled with joy. With the remaining 4 techniques, he could refine puppets of other attributes. Qingyun, the future of practicing the 5 elements puppetry is limited. It is far less practical than practicing other techniques, and it is time-consuming and laborious. Have you thought it through? Chen Xianming knew the pros and cons of this technique, frowned, and talked to Chen Qingyun seriously. The fiery sky sword art inherited by the family, or other qi training techniques, would be much better than this 5 elements puppetry. and it would not require the consumption of divine thoughts and harm to the body. Qi training cultivators practice every minute. Why should they spend time on this? It's hard to make any achievements. Qingyun, the current family skills are all free to the clan members, and there is no need to exchange them for any merit. During the time you guarded Zhenhai Island, you must have learned to refine weapons. Perhaps you can exchange resources for refining weapons and strive to become a refiner as soon as possible. In this way, you will not disappoint your grandfather Ren's expectations of you. Chen Xianming thought of this and gave a suggestion for exchange. He also hoped that Chen Qingyun would make achievements in refining weapons and not waste time on 5 elements puppetry and repeat Chen Qingzi's old path. The family has trained 2 refining apprentices, and Chen Qingyun has lived up to expectations and become a refiner. Now, they are looking forward to Chen Qingyun joining the ranks of refiners. Patriarch, there is something I still need to tell you. Chen Qingyun smiled between his eyebrows. Oh, tell me. Chief, to be honest, I have become a weapon refiner a while ago. Weapon refiner? Chen Xianming, who had been listening, was stunned when he heard this. You, then, he quickly reacted. Qingyun, you have become a weapon refiner. The old chief was a little excited about what he said, and he couldn't help but reach out and grab Chen Qingyun's arm, his palm trembling with excitement. The excitement on his face was also undisguised. Tell me in detail. Looking at the excited old chief, it was obvious that the family had added a new weapon refiner, which was a very happy thing for him. Chen Qingyun didn't keep it a secret, and talked in detail about the time when he followed Chen Qingyun to learn to refine the red iron sword, and then he started to refine weapons himself. Qingyun is a brave and careful child. She will teach you to refine the red iron sword and will teach you everything she knows. Chen Xianming thought of Chen Qingyun's appearance in his mind and felt a little worried. Seeing that both of his younger generations have become weapon refiners and are capable of inheriting Chen Daoran's legacy and benefiting the family, he is happier and happier. His eyes looking at Chen Qingyun are also filled with deep admiration. You have brought me more and more surprises. Tell me, what other surprises have you not told me, this old man? That's all for now. I have to work harder in the future. Okay, it's good that you have this enterprising spirit. My Chen family has a successor. After some small talk, the topic returned to exchanging family resources. After listening to Chen Xianming's suggestion, Chen Qingyun thought about it and finally nodded seriously. Patriarch, I have thought it through. I am determined to get the 5 elements puppetry technique. He was so determined, of course, after careful consideration. For others, the ability of the 5 elements puppet is limited. But for him, it can bring out great potential. Seeing that Chen Qingyun was determined to do so, Chen Xianming finally nodded in agreement, thinking that he was not a reckless person and must have his own ideas and could bring out the value of this technique. I only practiced the earth movement chapter of this technique and did not continue. I always carry the whole technique with me. If you want it, according to the clan rules, I will teach it to you for free. Just be sensible. As he said that, Chen Xianming took out a jade slip of the technique, erased the protective restrictions on it, and handed it to Chen Qingyun. Thank you, clan leader. Chen Qingyun took the technique and was secretly excited. Chen Xianming smiled and said, why should we be so polite as a family? Just like Qingyun did at the beginning, if you get this technique, you can also help you guard the mind veins, and it will be helpful to you. You are all the blood of the family. Whether the family can continue in the future, or even grow and develop, is closely related to you. Take this skill and do what you want to do. I am old, and my ideas may conflict with yours. Don't be surprised. Let's talk about the 2,000 merit points. The family will register them for you first. When you want to redeem them in the future, you can redeem them at any time. Although the family is a little poor now, it has always kept its word. Even if I am gone in the future, these merit points will still count. In the following time, Chen Qingyun and the clan leader acted together to explore the entire psychedelic island. They found that this spiritual vein was arranged vertically and horizontally from east to west, and the length reached about 100 miles. This is a small spiritual vein, which can fully meet the conditions of opening up spiritual fields and planting spiritual medicines, and there is still surplus. This made Chen Xianmin smile all the time. I feel more and more that Chen Qingyun's discovery this time has made a huge contribution to the family. It is really a treasure. Chen Xianmin already had some ideas about how to use this spiritual vein efficiently. After returning, he would discuss it with the family elders and others. After staying on the psychedelic island for half a day, the two set off in the evening. "I've been out for a while. Before I go back, I'll go to Zhenhai Island to take a look. I haven't seen Qingyun for a while." Chen Xianmin used a flying boat magic weapon and took Chen Qingyun to flight to Zhenhai Island. Chapter 37 Qingyun and number 039 experience. Along the way. The old patriarch and Chen Qingyun talked about some interesting things they encountered when they traveled. Introducing the forces that existed in the sea area they passed through. Chen Qingyun listened carefully and didn't feel bored along the way. When they returned to Zhenhai Island, 5 days had passed since he left. As soon as the two of them landed on Zhenhai Island, Chen Qingyun noticed something. "Qingyun, patriarch." His eyes fell on Chen Qingyun first, and then he looked at Chen Xianmin, and Chen Qingyun smiled. "Fifth sister, I'm back," Chen Qingyun said with a smile, and greeted Chen Qingyun as soon as possible, telling her that he had returned safely, so that the fifth sister would not worry about him. Chen Xianmin also smiled and said, "Qingyun, little girl, your grandfather has been nagging me recently that he is worried about you. He has been very busy these days and has no time to leave the family, so I will come to see you on his behalf." The three of them talked and laughed, and entered the attic and sat down. Chen Xianmin began to ask about some matters related to mining. Did the two of them get used to living on the island? Did they feel that they lacked some resources and needed the family to make up for them? Chen Qingyun and the other two were stationed outside. Whether it was obtaining resources or receiving guidance in cultivation, it was not as convenient as in the family. They should have been two promising cultivation seedlings, but they had to come to this isolated island to garrison because of the lack of manpower in the family. Chen Xianmin knew the importance of cultivation. The younger he was, the more he should race against time, so he asked several times whether the resources on the island were sufficient. "Tell him what you want. As long as the family has it, get it for them." "Patriarch, don't worry, my fifth sister and I are doing well on the island and can maintain our daily cultivation. If there is any hardship, we will tell you," Chen Qingyun said with a smile. Unlike the casual cultivators in the outside world, the sect cultivators and the family cultivators are more cohesive because they are connected by blood. They are often willing to teach each other, support each other, and keep each other warm. However, if a family relies solely on affection to develop, it is obviously far from enough. It is necessary to formulate many family rules to discipline the clan members while trying to be fair. As the clan leader, Chen Xianmin should treat everyone equally and avoid any excessive partiality. Only such a family can develop for a long time and have order. The three of them talked in detail. When Chen Xianmin decided to leave, the sky was as dark as ink and it was night. A silver moon was hanging high in the night sky, and the sky was full of stars. "I guess you have bought what you want this time." As soon as she saw Chen Xianmin leave, Chen Qingyun asked about the trip to Hefang City. When she saw Chen Qingyun return safely during the day, Chen Qingyun was secretly relieved. These days, she has been standing on the coastline, looking up from time to time to see if Chen Qingyun has returned. Worried about Chen Qingyun's safety outside and whether he will encounter any difficult to resolve dangers. In this star sea, bandits have always been rampant and can never be eradicated. With Chen Qingyun's strength, it would be easy to deal with one or two of them, but if he encountered some tricky bandits, he would not fight. This sister always worries about her brother. "I bought it." "Well, tell me about this trip." "Okay." Knowing that Chen Qingyun cares about him, and that there was no one to talk to for the past 2 days. Chen Qingyun told about his experience in Zhuxiantu. When Chen Qingyun heard that he followed his advice and really went to Zhuxiantu, Chen Qingyun smiled slightly as he listened. After knowing the price of selling the Fire Cloud Lizard Demon Pill and buying the Qi Refining Pill, Chen Qingyun nodded slightly. I have bought some refining resources from Senior Liu and have dealt with her several times. Her shop offers fair prices. I will give you those Fire Cloud Lizard Demon Pills at the highest market price. The price of the Qi Refining Pill has long been discounted by Yaoang Mountain from 500 spirit stones per bottle to 410 spirit stones. This time, Zhuxiantu did not earn an extra spirit stone from you. I just listened to your advice. Their purchase price is really good. Next time I go, I will still choose Zhuxiantu. Yeah. Chen Qingyun hummed. After talking about this, Chen Qingyun thought about it and couldn't help asking the doubts in his heart. Fifth sister, did you stay in Ziazu Island for a while and meet Liu Zilin? Hearing this question, Chen Qingyun raised her eyes and looked at Chen Qingyun, and said slowly, she told you. Indeed. Chen Qingyun did not hide anything and repeated what he talked about with Liu Zilin when they first met. Sensing Chen Qingyun's concern for her past, Chen Qingyun took the initiative to tell him about it without waiting for him to ask. Chen Qingyun listened, and finally understood the doubts in his heart. It turned out that more than 3 years ago, when Chen Qingyun went out of the clan to practice, he passed by a place called Ziazu Island in the north of Xingsha Islands and learned that there were monsters there. Due to the geographical location of Ziazu Island, it lacks spiritual energy and few cultivators appear in that area. Seeing that there were monsters harming mortals, Chen Qingyun stayed on the island to eliminate the monsters and killed the first-level lower-grade red-eyed sea snake. After this battle, it was thought that the monsters were eliminated. Unexpectedly, a first-level high-grade water toad beast appeared later. With her strength at the 4th level of Qi Refining at that time, she was no match at all, and she almost died in the mouth of that monster beast. Fortunately, at the critical moment of life and death, Liu Zilin passed by Ziazu Island and took action in time to kill the water toad beast and save her life. Subsequently, it was precisely because Chen Qingyun's Taoist body was damaged in that battle that his vitality was damaged, causing his cultivation level to plummet, and he retreated to the 2nd level of Qi Refining. After learning the cause of the incident, Chen Qingyun felt a little worried about Chen Qingyun's experience at that time. If Liu Zilin hadn't happened to pass by and rescued her in time, how could she still see 5th sister here now? I didn't talk about this in detail to my family back then, and I should have told you a long time ago. Hearing this, Chen Qingyun nodded and said seriously, in this case, Senior Liu did save your life, no wonder you will deal with her many times in the future. Yes, I later learned that she opened a store in Hufang City. In the past 3 or 4 years, I have only purchased resources from her. The two chatted a few more words on this topic. Then, Chen Qingyun changed the topic and talked about earth fire purple gold copper, and asked Chen Qingyun if he had sold it in Liu Zilin. 5th sister is probably afraid that I will expose the existence of Zhenhai Island. Chen Qingyun smiled faintly, guessing the worries in Chen Qingyun's heart. Really? The next moment, Chen Qingyun nodded. Yes, although Senior Liu is trustworthy, if other people in the store know that the earth fire purple gold copper comes from Zhenhai Island, it will not only expose the hematite mine, but also easily attract covetous people, which is not good for you, me, and the family. Not afraid of 10,000, but afraid of the worst. Chen Qingyun was still very thoughtful. She has experienced some storms in the past, which has sharpened her current character. It is not unreasonable for her family to agree to her management of the hematite mine. After getting along with her for such a period of time, Chen Qingyun could tell that she was different from her peers in other families, and seemed much more mature and steady. Don't worry, in Zhuxiantu, I have never shown earth fire, purple gold and copper to earn spiritual stones. I have other ways. I was worrying too much, just remember. Chen Qingyun nodded repeatedly and did not ask how Chen Qingyun earned the spiritual stones to purchase the skills. Next, regarding the subsequent discovery of the spiritual veins of Psychedelic Island, Chen Qingyun did not hide it and took the initiative to tell Chen Qingyun. After this period of getting along, it can be said without exaggeration, Chen Qingyun is the person he feels closest to, and he is also the person who can talk openly and heart to heart. So naturally he will not hide this matter from her. Soon after. Others in the family will also know that Chen Qingyun discovered a second level spiritual vein for the family. Compared with the joy brought by the discovery of spiritual veins, Chen Qingyun showed worry when he learned about Chen Qingyun's experience of being surrounded and suppressed by bandits. Her beautiful eyes looked carefully at Chen Qingyun, as if she wanted to see flowers. "You're not hurt, are you?" With that said, she rummaged through her storage bag and took out a few bottles of healing elixirs, intending to hand them to Chen Qingyun. "No, don't worry, fifth sister." Chen Qingyun shook his head repeatedly. "You're really not hurt?" Chen Qingyun was still a little worried. She put her jade hand on Chen Qingyun's shoulder and used her magic power to check if there was any injury. When she heard that they were three insidious cultivators who committed murder and seized treasures, she felt worried for Chen Qingyun. How nervous you had to be at that time and how calm you had to stay to survive this disaster without any danger. This couldn't help but make her feel the same way, remembering her experience when she almost died at the mouth of a monster on Ziazu Island. Losing the spirit stone is trivial matter, but losing one's life is not worth the gain. Chen Qingyun allowed fifth sister to investigate for a while. Sure, it's okay. Only then did the clan sister in front of her retract her palm and let out a long sigh of relief. "Qingyun, that is to say, you act cautiously and know how to use puppets to investigate first." If it were Deng to King, who was fascinated by the opportunity of the cave, I'm afraid it would have been revealed there. In the future, if you encounter similar things again, you must keep your eyes open and take a look. If you are not sure enough, you can't act easily. She warned seriously. At the same time, I am also glad that the five elements puppet technique was passed on to Chen Qingyun in advance, so that I can use the earth element puppet to explore the situation, and Chen Qingyun will not risk it myself. Now, she was relieved that Chen Qingyun was safe and sound. I had previously wondered why the clan leader came back with Chen Qingyun. There was no inquiry at that time. It turned out that the matter of the spiritual veins of Psychedelic Island had alerted the clan leader to investigate in person. First there was the clan leader, and now there was the fifth sister's nagging advice. Chen Qingyun listened carefully and could feel that this was for his own good. It wasn't until Chen Qingyun finished speaking that he smiled and said, "Okay, fifth sister, this matter has been settled. By the way, I got the complete version of the five elements puppet technique from the clan leader. I'll make a copy for you." Chen Qingyun said and took out the jade slip of the martial arts. If it hadn't been for fifth sister's generous gift, he wouldn't have gotten the Tuxing puppet. Now that the skills have been completed, the fifth sister should also have a share. "Huh? You got the complete five elements puppetry technique from the clan leader?" Chen Qingyun showed a look of surprise, obviously not understanding what Chen Qingyun's complete skills were doing and what they were used for. But with the idea that everyone has secrets, she didn't ask any more questions. The last time she saw the earth puppet controlled by Chen Qingyun, she noticed that there was something different about the puppet. Chapter 38. The spoils are rich. Chen Qingyun's earth-moving puppet seems to be more powerful than his own earth-moving puppet. She felt strange at the time, but didn't ask any questions. Now, I feel that my sixth brother seems to have some secret. This secret is not yours to ask, and you should respect it. When necessary, keep secrets for him. This technique is useful to you, keep it for yourself. Chen Qingyun took a deep look at Chen Qingyun and shook her head gently. "I have an earth puppet, which is enough. I have no idea of refining puppets with other attributes." "Well, tell me when you want it, and I'll give it to you." Seeing Chen Qingyun shaking her head, Chen Qingyun didn't force it. He took out the Sutra of Meditation on the Great Sun, made a copy of this technique, and gave it to Chen Qingyun as a way to repay her for giving her the technique before. Chen Qingyun did not refuse this time, Knowing the importance of this technique, she secretly remembered this kindness and put away the technique. The two chatted for a few words. The night was already dark, and Chen Qingyun returned to his residence immediately. This business in Hefang City has been hugely rewarding for him. It takes some time to take a good inventory of the loot. He took a deep breath and took the lead in reading the jade slips of the exercises, checking out the 4 exercises of gold, wood, water and fire. Chen Qingyun seemed completely unaware of the sound of insects and wind coming late at night. His mind was immersed in reading the jade slips of the exercises. I read it carefully for more than an hour. Chen Qingyun's face showed excitement. It's exactly what I thought. Each of these 5 elements puppets has its own corresponding refining method and ability. The complete version of 5 elements puppetry not only fully records how to refine the 5 elements puppet. At the same time, it also completely records how to fuse the 5 types of puppets to create a new puppet after refining the 5 elements puppet. There is another item that Chen Qingyun focuses on. That is the magical power, 5 elements heavenly escape. Supernatural power. This is a Taoist skill that only Jiandan monks can understand based on their own skills. If monks below the Golden Course stage want to practice magical powers, let alone whether they can access them, even if there is a way to practice, it will be difficult to master them. Because if you want to practice magical powers, no matter it is the Qi refining stage, the foundation building stage, or even the purple mansion stage, your magic power is not enough to maintain your practice. This also makes magical powers only shine in the hands of Jiandan monks, becoming their exclusive secret. This is why both Chen Qingyun and Chen Xianming believe that the achievements of practicing this 5 elements puppetry are limited and it is difficult to achieve anything. The main reason is that the strength of the 5 elements puppet is too low, and it requires spiritual energy to refine. So the gain outweighs the loss. Even if you are cruel, damage your Tao body and refine the 5 elements puppet for fusion, and have a chance to master the 5 elements heavenly escape, so what? 5 elements heavenly escape is indeed a magical power, but it is not a magical skill that focuses on killing. Instead, it is a magical power that allows the caster to travel between the 5 elements at will. It has no attack power, which is also the shortcoming of this magical power. However, Chen Qingyun's goal is not just the 5 elements escape. He pays more attention to the refining and strengthening of the 5 elements puppet. I don't know if I can use the system to fuse the 5 types of puppets of metal, wood, water, fire, and earth after I refine them, or should I fuse them according to the method recorded in the technique. The fused 5 elements puppet can exert the power of the 5 elements at the same time. What is its strength like? Chen Qingyun was full of expectations at this moment, and was confused and mumbling to himself. Because there is no record in the technique about the strength of the fused 5 elements puppet. Even if it is recorded, this reference is of little significance. After all, the strength of the earth elemental puppet he currently controls has reached the 6th level of Qi refining. The ancient monk who originally created this technique would not have thought that Chen Qingyun could strengthen the puppet in this way. It was completely unexpected. Let's take it one step at a time. We should work hard first to refine the puppets with the other 4 attributes. Chen Qingyun's eyes flashed and he didn't think too much. Like the earth element chapter exercises, the contents of these 4 chapters are quite different. The only difference is that they all record the refining methods corresponding to their respective attributes, as well as the spell casting. For example, water puppets can escape into the sea and integrate with the ocean, giving them the advantage of moving in waters. The golden puppet has extremely strong attack power. The defensive power can also be integrated into metal materials. The other elements of wood and fire also have their own strengths and advantages. I don't know how the other 4 attribute puppets perform, but the earth puppet alone is very practical. Now, I still need to purchase some weapon refining materials to prepare for the puppet refining in advance. After getting the technique, Chen Qingyun started thinking about the materials for refining the weapon. It is obviously impossible to use hematite to refine the other 4 kinds of puppets. You have to look for refining materials with other attributes. Let's First take a look at what's in the storage bags of the 3 bandit cultivators, maybe you'll find something. Chen Qingyun took out the trophies of the psychedelic island group, the 3 storage bags, and the 2 magic weapons. One is a first-level mid-grade flying sword. The other thing is the Wulongzima blade. The former can be broken down. The latter can be kept for use. Let's take a look at these 2 magic weapons later. Focusing on the 3 storage bags, Chen Qingyun began to activate his spiritual thoughts. Since there was spiritual consciousness left on the storage bags, it would take some time to wipe it off before opening the storage bags. At this time, he had no idea what was in the 3 storage bags. He had been using his divine consciousness to wipe off the spiritual consciousness left on the storage bags. Not long after, Chen Qingyun opened the 3 storage bags one by one. After counting them together, Chen Qingyun's eyes soon revealed a look of surprise. No wonder the bandit cultivators like to kill people and rob treasures so much. The benefits here are so great. Let's talk about the spiritual stones first. In the 3 storage bags, the spiritual stones added up to more than 600. This is definitely a considerable fortune for a qi refining cultivator. It is no exaggeration to say that his current worth has surpassed that of the elders in the clan. Secondly, it is the skills. There are 16 scattered skills, and the methods and moves are not from the same lineage, which is very complicated. These skills were obviously obtained from the hands of those cultivators who were killed. But unfortunately, these skills are either protected by prohibitions or are not powerful enough to be practiced. Those good skills are often in the hands of major sects or families, and are rarely passed on to others. This is also one of the reasons why many casual cultivators want to join a sect. The higher the level of the cultivator, the less likely they are to pass on their skills to others, to prevent outsiders from peeking into the shortcomings of the skills and causing disadvantages to themselves. Then there are the magic weapons. This is the part that Chen Qingyun is most interested in. Chapter 39 Strengthening, 9th level of Qi Refining. The 3 bandits had a total of 16 magic weapons. 10 first grade low grade ones. 6 first grade medium grade ones. Obviously, like the spirit stones, they were also obtained by killing people and stealing treasures. Among them, what Chen Qingyun was most interested in was the black dragon blade and a small green shield. He had a deep understanding of the power of the black dragon blade at that time. This magic weapon can have an effect of being hard to defend against the enemy. It has a strong killing ability and is also suitable for his own use. The small green shield is the one that was placed on the street stall. It can serve as the first defensive magic weapon. Chen Qingyun decided to keep these 2 magic weapons. The rest of the magic weapons were decomposed into strengthening points to continue strengthening the Qingguang sword and the earth puppet. The battle in the cave made Chen Qingyun deeply aware of the importance of magic weapons. Looking at the 14 magic weapons in front of him, Chen Qingyun began to decompose them. Decompose these magic weapons. After the order was issued, the magic weapons neatly placed in front of him all turned into light spots. These light spots gathered together, like the shining stars, and like fireflies in the night sky, which was extremely eye-catching. In just a moment, the decomposition was completed. Reinforcement point +1 reinforcement point +1 reinforcement point +1 reinforcement point +2 reinforcement point +2 A series of prompts appeared. At this moment, Chen Qingyun obtained 18 reinforcement points. This is the first time that he has obtained so many reinforcement points at one time since he obtained the golden finger. Chen Qingyun's eyes showed excitement. Taking this opportunity, he took the lead in strengthening the earth puppet. After 4 reinforcement points were deducted, a burst of light rose from the earth puppet, and then the aura increased. It was just a moment. This earth puppet was upgraded from the first grade upper grade to the first grade extreme grade in one fell swoop. Chen Qingyun sensed the aura and could clearly find that the strength of the earth puppet had reached the 9th level of Qi Refining. It has really been strengthened to the 9th level of Qi Refining. This is the 9th level of Qi Refining. What does it mean? If a cultivator reaches this level, he can already start building his foundation. That is to say, now he has the strength to fight any enemy below the foundation building stage. Guess it's hard for 5th sister to imagine that this earth puppet can reach the 9th level of qi refining with me. No, it was originally only the 1st level of qi refining. Unable to hide the excitement on his face, Chen Qingyun rubbed his hands. I just felt that this earth puppet was getting more and more attractive. If it is further strengthened in the future, wouldn't it be able to reach the foundation building stage or even a higher level? This idea came to his mind. Chen Qingyun's breathing became rapid, and he was already eager to try it. He took a deep breath, suppressed his excitement, and began to test whether the puppet's control range had been improved. When it was a 1st level upper grade, the control range of the earth puppet was 500 feet away. Try it. The earth puppet escaped into the ground and headed southwards to Zhenhai Island. It traveled a full 1,000 feet before reaching the control limit and could no longer travel an extra 10 feet. A distance of 1,000 feet, the control range has doubled. Chen Qingyun's eyes flickered. This was a good thing. It meant that he could control the earth puppet to fight the enemy at a longer distance and perform reconnaissance tasks. He tried to let the earth puppet attack and perform earth spells, etc., and the power was indeed significantly improved compared to before. Strengthening points, 14. Looking at the remaining strengthening points, Chen Qingyun resisted the urge in his heart and did not continue to strengthen the earth puppet. Qi refining cultivators can control a first-class top-grade magic weapon at most. Once the earth puppet is strengthened to the 2nd level, it will not be able to be controlled at that time, so there is no need to do this. Since the puppet has temporarily reached the strengthening limit, then strengthen other magic weapons. Strengthen the Qingguang sword. It cost 4 points of strengthening. Then, a flash of light appeared on the Qingguang sword. This flying sword instantly upgraded to the 1st grade top grade. The power of the flying sword was enhanced. The enhancement was completed. Chen Qingyun did not continue to enhance the Qingguang sword. He tried to see if the Qingguang sword could be enhanced to the 2nd grade lower grade like the earth puppet. The system responded that it could continue to be enhanced. The enhancement of this Qingguang sword has reached its current limit. Continue to enhance it after your subsequent cultivation reaches the foundation building stage. Don't rush it. There are still 10 enhancement points, which Chen Qingyun uses to enhance other magic weapons. One is the Hunyuan boat. The other is the Cyan small shield. 3 enhancement points were spent. The Hunyuan boat was enhanced twice in a row, from the 1st grade lower grade to the 1st grade upper grade. The flying speed was more than doubled. According to Chen Qingyun's idea, upgrading the grade of the Hunyuan boat can not only reduce the time of traveling. More importantly, in critical moments, the Hunyuan boat is a magic weapon for escape, so the speed cannot be too slow, the faster the better. At the same time, the Hunyuan boat itself has a layer of defensive barriers that can resist attacks. With the improvement of the grade, the defense power has also been increased. Let's talk about the green small shield Lingjia shield. This is made from the tortoise shell of the Lingjia turtle and is a pure defensive magic weapon. Strengthen it without hesitation. Chen Qingyun spent 3 points on strengthening, and also strengthened it twice, strengthening it from the 1st grade low grade to the 1st grade high grade. Qingguang sword, 1st grade high grade Hunyuan boat, 1st grade high grade Tuxing puppet, 1st grade high grade Nu Long's blade, 1st grade medium grade Lingjia shield, 1st grade high grade strengthening points. 4. There are still 4 points of strengthening points left, and Chen Qingyun decided to keep them first. As for Nu Long's blade, he was not in a hurry to strengthen it, and first got familiar with the control of this magic weapon. This trip to the cave is really a big gain for me. I gained 18 points of strengthening points. No wonder many cultivators have started to kill people and rob treasures. The benefits here are really attractive. With a slight sigh, Chen Qingyun also strengthened his mind. He walked and sat upright. What the bandit cultivators did must not be done. This is a road of no return. Once you set foot on it, it will be difficult to turn back in the future. It would be better to cultivate well and not think about these fighting and killing. In the next month or so, Chen Qingyun decided to start seclusion and refine the bottle of qi refining pill to increase his cultivation. There are 5 qi refining pills in the jade bottle, which is equivalent to 82 spiritual stones for one. From the price point of view, it is indeed not expensive. This is also because the Xinghai Dan Dao is prosperous. A large number of pills are produced every day, and the Xingzong's management and rectification have greatly reduced the price of pills. Otherwise, how can you buy a qi refining pill with only 82 spiritual stones? Strive for the 6th level of qi refining. Chen Qingyun took out the jade bottle and poured out a qi refining pill. The qi refining pill is the size of a longan, silver white in color, and exudes a herbal scent. This is not the first time that Chen Qingyun has taken pills and knows the process of refining precious pills. Chapter 40, Danma Rebellion, Cultivation Advancement. Looking at the qi refining pill in his palm, Chen Qingyun took a deep breath and slowly put the pill into his mouth. The elixir melts in your mouth and has no particularly obvious taste. It is very light. The power of the medicine was quickly converted into a strong and pure true energy, which flowed along the throat, meridians, etc., and merged into the danshan. At this time, what Chen Qingyun needs to do is to refine this true energy and integrate it into his danshan. Completely make it your own. The process didn't last long. In just a short while, the zhenqi in his body increased a little, and he could already touch the threshold of the 6th level of qi refining. If this were daily practice, it would take 2 years to achieve this effect. Now, taking this qi refining pill is worth 2 years of hard training, saving a lot of time. No wonder monks like to buy elixirs to increase their cultivation. The sales of elixirs are booming in Xinghai. There are so many monks involved in elixir refining and the development of a prosperous era of elixirs. This is not without reason. After experiencing the effect of the qi refining pill, Chen Qingyun sighed, thinking of the countless elixirs and precious medicines circulating on the market that contain various effects. Just talking about this qi refining pill, because the formula is mature and has been continuously transformed and optimized for tens of thousands of years, there is no erysipelas in itself. Even if you take it too much, the effect will be weakened at best and it will no longer play a role in increasing your cultivation. There is no need to worry about damaging the Tao body. This elixir comes from Yaoang Shan, so there is no need to worry about anything fishy in it. It is worth mentioning that along with this elixir, there has been an incident in the Star Sea where the elixir demon caused chaos that shocked the Star Sea. More than 1,000 years ago, there was a master of alchemy in Xinghai, the nascent soul lord, who was named the Alchemy Emperor. This person's name is Patriarch Mo. He is a leader in the alchemy world. He is very famous and prestigious in the Star Sea. Countless monks come to him to refine elixirs every day, including the true monarch nascent soul. Originally, there was such a master of alchemy in the Sea of Stars, which was enough to be called a good talk. But no one thought of it. For some unknown reason, the Mo ancestor actually colluded with the demon giant and began to secretly murder the human monks, disturbing the peace of the Star Sea. But when he was refining elixirs for monks at the Foundation establishment stage and above, including those at the nascent soul stage, he had tampered with them and set up some kind of mysterious poison technique. This also led to many golden elixir ancestors and even Yuan Ying Zhenjiang not noticing when they took his elixir. In the end, due to the poisonous poison in their bodies, they were forced to become his puppets and follow him to seek refuge. The demon clan. During that period, the Xinghai immortal realm was severely weakened and in turmoil. Basically, all the famous powerful people, including the top leaders of the Star Sect, suffered at the hands of the Mo ancestor, and the ending was tragic and regrettable. The alchemy rebellion broke out and lasted for decades. In the end, several hidden ancestors from the Star Sect took action and joined forces to kill the Mo ancestor. The chaos of this elixir demon will also lead to the fact that for a long time in the future, monks will not dare to take elixirs refined by others easily. The alchemy world has also been depressed for a long time and has been deeply affected. As a result, the prosperity of Xinghai alchemy came to a standstill and almost died. Follow up. In order to rectify the alchemy world and restore vitality. The major forces and their famous figures jointly established Yaoang Mountain to govern the alchemy world. Since then, Yaoang Mountain has rapidly risen and developed into the #1 alchemy force in Xinghai. Even Xingzong has to give it some slack. Reminds me of the alchemy rebellion that lasted for more than 1,000 years. At the moment, Chen Qingyun naturally won't worry about anything wrong with the qi refining pill, so he can just take it with confidence. If there are problems with even the most basic qi refining pill, then the world of alchemy is really hopeless. Pills are all related to everyone's interests, and there is a time when they need to be taken. No one wants to see problems arise here, harming others and themselves. Seeing that the qi refining pill was very effective, Chen Qingyun also refined the remaining 4 qi refining pills one by one. After he had accumulated enough zenki to hit the cultivation bottleneck, he started to hit the 6th level of qi refining. About a stick of incense passed. Chen Qingyun only felt that the true energy in his danshan became more abundant. The spiritual energy around him shook slightly, and a more powerful aura surged. I finally broke through the 6th level of qi refining. Chen Qingyun opened his mouth and spit out a stream of white mist, and opened his eyes happily. The sense of fullness of mana brought about by the improvement of cultivation level is very obvious. This more than a month of retreat was quite worthwhile. At this rate, it really won't be a problem to reach the 9th level of qi refining in 20 years. You can also make plans for foundation building early. After tidying up, I left the room. That day, when she learned that Chen Qingyun had broken through to the 6th level of qi refining, Chen Qingyun was smiling all day long. "Qingyun, I told you that you could reach the 9th level of qi refining in 20 years, you were too humble at that time." "Haha, 5th sister, aren't I only at the 6th level of qi refining? There is still a long way to go before I can reach the 9th level of qi refining." The 2 siblings talked for a while. Chen Qingyun also mentioned the matter of earth fire, purple gold and copper. After more than a month of exploration, she explored Zhenhai Island inside and outside, and even into the ground, but found no trace of the earth fire purple gold and copper veins. The few pieces of underground fire purple gold copper, together with the appearance of the fire cloud lizard, have really become an unsolved mystery. Will this mystery be solved until someday in the future? This is a bit of a pity. If an underground fire purple gold copper vein is really discovered, Chen Qingyun and I will definitely make great contributions to the family and can also obtain part of the mining income of the vein. It is good for both the family and the 2 of us. However, if you think about it carefully, discovering the underground fire purple gold copper vein is one thing. In the future, if you want to keep this vein and mine it smoothly, that is another matter. Take this hematite for example. This is just a micro vein, and the grade is not high. In order to mine it, the family has tried every means to keep this vein and prevent information from being leaked, for fear of attracting the covetousness of external forces. And the underground fire purple gold copper vein, looking around, is only controlled by Hunyuan Island. Hunyuan Island can defend it, which is inseparable from its own strong strength, and external forces dare not touch it at all. The Chen family is far inferior to Hunyuan Island, and there is no comparison. How can they have the ability to defend a vein of underground fire purple gold copper? The emergence of a vein will inevitably attract competition from major forces. The competition here is too fierce, and if you are not careful, you may get yourself into trouble. The 2 discussed the discovery of underground fire purple gold copper on Zhenhai Island and soon came to a conclusion. Chapter 41 2 years. We don't want to tell the 3rd person about the origin of earth fire, purple gold and copper. Chen Qingyun suggested. Chen Qingyun nodded slightly and said, "I think so too. The matter of earth fire, purple gold and copper has also been decided not to be disclosed to the public. This is a secret between the 2 of them, just keep it in each other's hearts. As for the fire cloud lizard, since the fire cloud lizard's lair was cleaned last time, no fire cloud lizard has appeared again. The 2 of them tried their best on this matter and didn't think much about it. In addition, Chen Qingyun gave Chen Qingyun the hematite salary for the past 2 months. In addition to the 3 yuan given in advance last time, 17 yuan was given this time. After receiving 17 pieces of hematite ore, Chen Qingyun had no idea of refining a hematite sword. He decided to spend most of his energy in practicing the Great Sun Meditation Sutra in the next time. every morning and noon, face the sun, meditate and practice, to achieve the effects of tempering the soul. This seems simple, but in fact it is not easy to practice. After carefully reading the contents of the technique, Chen Qingyun had an understanding of this technique. Before this, Chen Qingyun did not know what role the monk's soul had. Because the Chen family is still small and has limited abilities, they have not taught their clansmen knowledge about souls. There is no inheritance of such techniques. The only thing the Chen family members, and even Chen Qingyun, know is that once the soul is damaged, the Taoist body will be damaged and the cultivation level will decline. At worst, you will die directly. If it weren't for his exposure to Earth Elemental puppet, Chen Qingyun wouldn't have paid attention to divine soul skills so quickly. It seems that everything has its own destiny. Chen Qingyun now has a more intuitive and clear understanding of the soul. The spiritual consciousness, spiritual thoughts, and even spiritual consciousness that are born from a monk are all conceived by the divine soul. Spiritual consciousness is possessed by qi refining monks. After breaking through to the foundation building stage, spiritual consciousness will be converted into divine consciousness. Divine consciousness can be used to explore and practice some spiritual consciousness type exercises. The intensity is closely related to the cultivation level. At the same early stage of foundation building, if one practices the Great Sun Meditation Sutra, one's spiritual consciousness will be much stronger than that of monks of the same realm, giving them a great advantage. As for the divine mind, this is easy to understand. It is used to control magic weapons and use storage bags. The stronger the divine will, the more magical weapons can be controlled. Qi refining monks can generally control up to 2 magic weapons at the same time. This also depends on the strength of the spiritual thoughts, and there is no unified conclusion. Divine thoughts can also be used to refine some special magic weapons, exercises, etc. For example, refining the 5 elements puppet. However, refining these 5-element puppets will consume a lot of spiritual energy and thus the soul. Once the spiritual thoughts are lost, not to mention the impact on the performance of the strength, the cultivation level will regress, and the qi in blood will decline. At the same time, it will also reduce the number of royal magic weapons and reduce the combat effectiveness. To sum up, the importance of the soul is self-evident. Only a powerful soul can give birth to powerful spiritual consciousness and spiritual thoughts. It can be said that the body, magic power, and soul belong to the Trinity, and no matter which one is very important. Therefore, it is very important to temper the soul. Some of the close descendants or direct disciples of the powerful people in Zaifu will be required to practice divine soul-like techniques when they first come into contact with cultivation, in order to prepare for the impact of the Zaifu period in advance. Because when you open the Z mansion, you need to pass a level that sharpens your soul. Once the soul is weak, it will most likely be destroyed and the body will die. After passing this level and entering the purple mansion stage, the monk's soul will receive a huge improvement. As you continue to practice, the benefits of tempering your soul will gradually become apparent. Chen Qingyun didn't understand before. He only knew how to improve his cultivation level and neglected the cultivation of his soul. Now that I realize the importance, I can't help but say that there is also a huge information gap among the monks. The Chen family does not pay attention to the spiritual cultivation of the family's children. One is that they don't know the benefits of tempering the soul. When you realize this later, your starting point will be much later than those of the disciples of the major immortal sects, and you will be left behind by a long distance. Now that you know it now, let's focus on practicing in this area. The Great Sun Meditation Sutra can be practiced up to the foundation building stage. In other words, it can only satisfy the practice up to the foundation building stage. The subsequent Zaifu, Golden Pill, and even the nascent soul stage skills need to be found separately. Chen Qingyun's eyes flashed with light. At least, before the Zaifu period, you don't have to worry about soul-related skills. It just so happens. After practicing to the later stage of foundation building, the soul has been strengthened and tempered. When the time comes to hit the Zaifu stage, it will be much easier to face the test of tempering the soul. This is equivalent to reaching the key position and preparing for the attack on Z Mansion. No. Wonder Liuzilin said that this method is the most suitable for me. She is indeed prescient. She doesn't look much older than me, but she knows a lot and her perspective on things far exceeds mine. I still have a lot to learn about the world of immortality. Chen Qingyun murmured to himself, realizing his shortcomings. Now that I understand Liuzilin's thoughts, I can't help but feel that I am far inferior to Liuzilin in terms of vision and future planning. Liuzilin undoubtedly taught him a lesson. It made him realize that there was not only a gap in cultivation between monks, but also a very obvious gap in cognition. Let's get back to the point. The effects of tempering the soul is not only effective in breaking through the cultivation barrier. Another more important point is also what Chen Qingyun attaches great importance to. According to the description of 5 elements puppetry, because of the weak mind of qi refining cultivators, they can only control one puppet at most. The power of the mind means that he can control more puppets. Controlling multiple puppets at the same time, the effect is very different. This is also what makes Chen Qingyun secretly excited. He has long wanted to create a second puppet with other attributes, but he has not started because of his weak mind and inability to control one more. Now, the opportunity has come. Exhaling a breath of turbid air, Chen Qingyun waited until the next day, and then began to practice the Revisualization Sutra. Facing the rising sun, Chen Qingyun sat cross-legged, and according to the practice method of the technique, he used the form of spiritual consciousness visualization to contact the blazing light emitted by the sun. Use this light to temper the soul again. During the process of tempering the soul, the power of the sun often causes white mist to rise from the soul. This means that the soul is being roasted. Fortunately, there is no danger in this process. Although Chen Qingyun's cultivation is at the 6th level of qi refining, his soul is quite weak. He can clearly feel the pain when his soul is roasted by the power of the sun. He even feels that if he continues to roast, his soul will burn. During this roasting process, the power of the sun will also be integrated into the soul, thereby enhancing the strength of the soul. There is no time on the island. In the blink of an eye, 2 years have passed. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 42 Water Puppet. Chen Qingyun settled down to practice on the island. After 2 years of hard work, he has gained quite a lot. Practice the Great Sun Meditation Sutra every day. Chen Qingyun not only recovered the spiritual energy he spent refining the earth elemental puppet 2 years ago. Moreover, his spiritual consciousness has also been improved. Green Light Sword. Oolong Zima Blade. Spirit Armor Shield. These 3 magic weapons floated slowly in front of him, displaying their respective spiritual powers. After 2 years of hard work, I can now control 3 magic weapons at the same time. Chen Qingyun showed joy. On the one hand, this is not just about gaining an advantage in a battle of wits. While using the Green Light Sword and Black Dragon Blade to carry out killing attacks, you can also control the Spiritual Armor Shield for defense. Achieve a role in improving combat effectiveness. On the other hand, the benefits brought by the improvement of spiritual thoughts can also be reflected when refining elixirs, refining weapons, and making talismans. This is Chen Qingyun's current improvement. In addition, beside Chen Qingyun, there are 2 puppets, one standing on the left and one on the right. 2 months ago, Chen Qingyun mastered the 1st level of the Great Sun Meditation Sutra, and his spiritual consciousness strengthened accordingly, reaching the ability to control the 2nd puppet. Ever since, he contacted the family directly and asked if there were any water-based weapon refining materials in the family. Soon after, when Chen Dohai led a team to collect hematite, he brought 3 pieces of Shuan white stone. This piece of water-cold white stone is at the 1st level mid-grade level. It is a superior ore at the same level. It has extremely high plasticity and can be used to create many 1st level magic weapons. The 3 pieces of Shuan white stone were exchanged by Chen Qingyun from his family for 20 merit points. In order to refine the water puppet, Chen Qingyun spent half a month. After the refining was completed, This water puppet was strengthened to the first level of the best in one fell swoop, reaching the 9th level of Qi refining. Water puppet. This is Chen Qingyun's second puppet. Follow up. If you want to create a third 5 elements puppet, you need to continue practicing the Great Sun Meditation Sutra to temper your soul and enhance your spiritual thoughts. This requires a step-by-step process and cannot be rushed. The accumulation of hematite in the past 2 years has brought the number of hematite in Chen Qingyun's possession to 240. According to his skill in refining weapons, the yield rate of refining red iron swords is about 70%. These 2 years. He consumed 200 pieces of hematite and made 120 hematite swords. After these red iron swords were decomposed, the strengthening points plus the remaining 4 points had been accumulated to 124 points. During this period, another 7 points for strengthening the water puppet will be deducted. Fianzu 40 clock. Oolong Zima blade 6 points. Spirit armor shield 4 points. The remaining strengthening points are now 103 points. Bring up the system panel. Azure light sword, the first level of excellence. Fianzu, the best of the first level earth puppet, the first level of the best water puppet, the first level of the best Oolong Zima blade, the first level of the best spirit armor shield, the first level of the best strengthening points. 103 on the system panel. The level of magical instruments has all reached the first level of the best. That's called neat and tidy, and they look very comfortable. There are still 103 strengthening points. Chen Qingyun touched his chin, thinking about the use of these strengthening points. Obviously, the biggest source of these strengthening points comes from the red iron sword. Actually, just guarding the hematite ore, and the monthly income of 10 pieces of hematite ore can already meet the needs of strengthening the magic weapon. You can completely refine your own magical weapons, and you can produce 60 or 70 hematite swords a year to replenish your pockets. At first, Chen Qingyun also thought about whether to sell the refined red iron sword in Zhuxiantu City in exchange for spiritual stones. Then purchase high-level magic weapons to increase your strength. After thinking about it for a while, I realized that this idea was inappropriate. The red iron sword currently sold by the Chen family costs 50 spiritual stones each and is loved by many casual cultivators who are new to the world of immortality. They will all choose flying sword as their first magic weapon. First, Fijian has wide circulation and high value retention rate. Secondly, there are many techniques, sword techniques, etc. that are suitable for flying sword cultivation on the market, and the price is a few spiritual stones cheaper than other techniques of the same level. As long as you use the flying sword, you can have wider choices and save money. This is also the reason why many monks have a special liking for flying swords. Buying a flying sword and learning sword moves consumes less resources, has high attack power, and is easy to practice. This has also led to the emergence of many monks who specialize in sword cultivation, and many of them have achieved outstanding achievements. To sum up, this has resulted in good sales of red iron swords, and the Chen family has also gained considerable economic benefits. There is a family selling hematite swords. If he took the red iron sword to sell in the market, he would undoubtedly compete with the family and harm the family's interests. The only feasible way to earn spiritual stones is by selling magic weapons in the market. That means not selling hematite swords, but selling other magic weapons instead. For example, first buy some low-level magic weapons in the market to strengthen them, and then sell them. Just say that for a first-level low-grade magic weapon, the lowest price is 50 spiritual stones. First-level middle grade, 150 spirit stones. First-level high grade, 450 spirit stones. The first level of the best, 1,350 spirit stones. The price difference between them is at least 3 times. The price will fluctuate a little due to the different types and qualities of the magic tools. To buy a first-grade low-grade magic tool for strengthening, you need to consume 1 strengthening point. This is still the level of the first-grade medium grade. In this way, it is equivalent to spending 100 spirit stones to buy 2 first-grade low-grade magic tools. After some operations, you can earn 50 spirit stones. Later, continue to buy first-grade low-grade magic tools to decompose and strengthen them to first-grade high-grade and first-grade top-grade. The price difference of the magic tools here is obviously profitable. And it is not small. The previous sale of the purple copper flying blade is the best example. Refining, or getting a first-grade low-grade magic tool, strengthening it and then selling it is indeed a way to make money. But there are also disadvantages. Buying a large number of magic tools in the market and selling them at a high price will undoubtedly be coveted by others. If this is targeted by a foundation building cultivator or a purple mansion strongman, it will not make a lot of spirit stones. He was killed and robbed instantly. He was chased by a tall and thin monk. Chen Qingyun has a strong sense of vigilance against the Zhuxian market, a place where good and bad people are mixed. Now his strength is low. If he is not sure enough, he should avoid doing this. So, instead of taking risks in the market and earning these profits, it is better to learn the way of refining instruments, refine instruments by himself, decompose and strengthen them. In this way, he does not need to spend spirit stones and go to the market to buy a large number of instruments to obtain strengthening points. And it is precisely because of the decomposition of those red iron swords that Chen Qingyun strengthened the second water puppet to the first level extreme, that is, the 9th level of Qi refining. As for the third puppet. Chapter 43, Spying on the Mineral Veins. Uninvited guests. Chen Qingyun wanted to build the third puppet. However, he still couldn't meet the requirements of refining the third puppet. It took too much spiritual energy, let alone control. The spiritual energy was not enough. He had to continue practicing the Great Sun Visualization Sutra to forge his soul. As for cultivation. After 2 years of practice, Chen Qingyun gradually touched the threshold of the 7th level of Qi refining. When I was at the 5th level of Qi refining, it took me more than 3 months to break through to the 6th level of Qi refining. I want to go to the next level and impact the 7th level of Qi refining. I have spent 2 years. With my current cultivation, if I want to be promoted to the 7th level of Qi refining, do I have to go to Zhuxiantu again and buy some more Qi refining pills? Chen Qingyun paid attention to his own cultivation and had the idea of going to Hunyuan market again. However, it should be noted here. Although Qi refining pills are good, they will bring obvious cultivation improvement effects when taken for the first few times. If you take too many Qi refining pills, the effect of the pills will gradually weaken until they are ineffective. Otherwise, who would seriously practice cultivation and just eat Qi refining pills to improve their cultivation? The Chen family can also spend tens of thousands of spirit stones to use pills to build a 9th level Qi refining cultivator. According to Chen Qingyun's current cultivation. If he wants to take Qi refining pills to break through to the 7th level of Qi refining, the effect will not be too obvious. He needs to change to a spirit pill that can assist in breaking through the late stage of Qi refining. After thinking about the future cultivation plan, Chen Qingyun put away the magic tools and puppets and walked out of the room. If you have time recently, go to the Black Cliff Market again. After 2 years of development. The mines in the hematite mine are more and more interconnected and crisscrossed. There are also many more mortals who come here to mine the veins than before. The production capacity of hematite is gradually increasing. Chen Qingyun has also become busier and busier. It is gratifying that Chen Qingyun's current cultivation has recovered to the 3rd level of Qi refining. Her weapon refining attainments also improved a year ago, and she was promoted to a first-class mid-grade weapon refiner. When the news was passed back to the family, Chen Daoran, Chen Xianming and others in the family were very happy and felt very relieved. On this day, Chen Qingyun sat cross-legged in the attic, practicing with his eyes closed. At the same time, outside Zhenhai Island, 2 cultivators were riding a boat on the waves and landed on the coast of Zhenhai Island. One of them, a middle-aged man with a fierce look and wearing a family robe, looked around and said as he looked at the scenery on Zhenhai Island, there is indeed a spiritual island here. The island that the Chen family deliberately hid was finally found by us. Just not sure whether the hematite vein is on this spiritual island. As soon as the middle-aged man finished speaking, another young man beside him sneered. Where else could it be besides here? There are no hematite veins on the Linjian island of the Chen family. We will know if the hematite ores come from here after we explore. In the past 2 years, The newly developed hematite swords of the Chen family have become their family characteristics. It is said that they sell well in major markets and have earned a lot of spiritual stones. If we take this hematite vein and make contributions to the family, we will not have to worry about the resources for cultivation in the next few decades, and we can even use this to be promoted to the position of family elder. When you become an elder, you will have everything you want in the family, and you will have all the women you want. Even if you marry a few more beautiful wives, the family will not say anything. The young man smiled and showed a bit of vulgarity. These two people are cultivators from the Zhao family. The Zhao family is one of the 9 foundation building families in the Xingsha Islands, and has always been at odds with the Chen family. In the early years, the Zhao family coveted the spiritual veins of the Chen family's Linjian Island, and openly provoked and killed the Chen family cultivators many times. This caused anger within the Chen family, and they were very disgusted with the Zhao family. If the family's strength was not yet weak and it was not easy to cause a large-scale conflict, Chen Xianming would have led his clansmen to fight back and teach the Zhao family a lesson. In the Xingsha Islands, there are frictions between the major immortal cultivation families, which is no surprise. But it is rare for the Zhao family to have no sense of boundaries and repeatedly target others. And these two, the middle-aged one is named Zhao Shaout, and the younger one is named Zhao Yiming. A few days ago, when they passed by Zhenhai Island, they originally ignored this island that looked unremarkable and deserted. But when they saw the Chen family cultivators coming and going here, they felt a little strange. In addition, thinking about the hematite ore that the Chen family got from nowhere, and the hematite swords they produced and sold well, they soon aroused speculation from the two of them. It is estimated that there are some secrets on this island. Now, let's just come and take a look and find out the truth. The Chen family has been hiding the origin of the hematite ore. Today I will dig it up and take a look. No, Shaout was eager to move. He could feel that there was spiritual energy flowing on this spiritual island. The spiritual mine was born in a place where spiritual energy gathered, which further confirmed the possibility of a mineral vein here. Zhao Yiming also noticed the spiritual energy here, and he was secretly excited in his heart, but his face showed hesitation. It is natural to dig it up and take a look, but no, Yiming was young after all, and he was a little timid in doing things. But if we trespass into the Chen family's territory, if we are discovered, won't we be killed to silence us? As soon as these words came out, Zhao Shaout raised his eyebrows. He pondered for a moment before speaking. What are you afraid of? Fortune and wealth come from risk. Even if there are really Chen family cultivators here, if we use the escape technique to run, they may not be able to catch up. You are really young, you are here, but you are still so timid. With your temper, what can you accomplish? You can't even eat shit while it's hot. No. Shaout taught Zhao Yiming a lesson, causing Zhao Yiming's expression to darken, and he secretly clenched his fists. He glanced at Zhao Shaout intentionally or unintentionally, hiding the murderous intent in his heart. Second, uncle taught me right. The next moment, he smiled and said with a look of shaking his head and sighing. With your 8th level of qi refining, plus my 7th level of qi refining, and with a few pieces of sophisticated equipment, we can fight even against the 9th level cultivator. If we really can't beat him, we'll turn around and leave. HMPH, I hope you can figure it out. No. Shaout glared at his nephew and said in a serious tone. Currently, the only foundation building cultivator in the Chen family is Chen Xianming. I don't believe that he would ignore Linjian Island and come here to guard it. As for the 9th level qi refining cultivator, the Chen family has not yet disclosed to the public that there is a cultivator of this level. So, I guess that the Chen family has at most sent a cultivator with the same strength as you and me to sit here, and there is no deterrent power at all. Second, uncle is wise. I think the facts are the same as you guessed. Okay, stop flattering. In order to prevent outsiders from coveting this place, let's take action first. Okay. The two made up their minds and immediately descended to explore the island. Chapter 44, New and old grudges are settled together. Soon after, Zhao Xiaod and Zhao Yiming came outside the island protection formation and discovered the existence of this formation. There is actually a formation here. Zhao Yiming's eyes were heavy and he noticed something was wrong here. This formation hides the situation inside the formation. I can't see what's going on here. Zhao Xiaod grinned with a sneer. Let me try the power of this formation and see what's behind it. Before he finished speaking, he pulled out a long black knife. Without thinking, he quickly injected his magic power and slashed towards the formation. Bang! The power of this sword was quite strong, and it hit the formation firmly, causing the formation to tremble. The formation has not been broken. So strong? There is indeed something fishy. Seeing this scene, Zhao Xiaod became even more certain that this place must be a treasure. Second, uncle, I'm afraid this formation is not simple. Zhao Yiming's eyes were fixed on the island protection formation. Seeing that Zhao Xiaod's sword did not cause any damage to the formation, he couldn't help but be a little wary. If we act so blatantly, aren't we trying to lure the monks from the Chen family here? Things, who are greedy for life and afraid of death. Zhao Xiaod glanced hard at Zhao Yiming. Let's first see which people from the Chen family are there. If we're not sure about killing them, we'll retreat. Stop just watching on the side, let me break the formation. The hematite opportunity is right in front of you. Seeing this situation, Zhao Yiming hesitated a few times. In the end, he bit the bullet, used the flying sword weapon, and followed the attack formation. When the two of them took action, Chen Qingyun in the distance woke up from his cultivation state and noticed something strange in the formation. What's going on? A monster is attacking the formation? His expression changed and he stood up quickly. At the same time, a beautiful figure appeared not far away, heading towards Chen Qingyun. In just a few moments, this figure stood tall and graceful in front of Chen Qingyun. Qingyun, over there. The person who came was none other than Chen Qingyun. After noticing something strange about the formation, she immediately came to look for Chen Qingyun and wanted to investigate with him. Neither of them dared to neglect, and they used the wind control technique to gallop. Soon, they came to the boundary of the formation and saw Zhao Xiaod. Monk. Chen Qingyun's expression changed when he saw that there were monks attacking the formation. Compared with monsters attacking Zhenhai Island, there is no problem in killing or driving them away. But the monks' attack is different. In order to keep the secret here, the offender must be killed. Otherwise, it will inevitably cause more trouble and expose the existence of this mineral vein. At this time, Chen Qingyun's expression also condensed, and when he saw that it was two monks taking action, he immediately used the green light sword. Zhao Xiaod and the two were frantically attacking the formation. Seeing Chen Qingyun and two people appear, Zhao Xiaod glanced at Chen Qingyun, and then focused on Chen Qingyun. Chen Qingyun from the Chen family. He recognized Chen Qingyun at a glance. A trace of salivation flashed deep in his eyes, and he shouted loudly. Sure enough, someone from your Chen family is guarding here. Zhao Yiming on the side looked happy, unable to predict the situation in front of him. It's protected by the formation again, and there are monks from the Chen family appearing here. The hematite is obviously on this island. This is a done deal. It's that scum Zhao Xiaod. At this time, Chen Qingyun also recognized Zhao Xiaod and bit his teeth secretly. Zhao Xiaod. Knowing that one of them was Zhao Xiaod, Chen Qingyun couldn't help but look at the Zhao family monk, and some memories emerged in his mind. 5 years ago. Chen Qingyun followed Chen Daoran and Chen Qingfeng to go to Hefang City to sell the family elixir. On the way there, the Chen family and the others were intercepted by the Zhao family monks headed by Zhao Xiaod. It was during that battle. Zhao Xiaod exposed his true nature several times, verbally irritated Chen Qingyun, spit out some obscene words, and threatened to take Chen Qingyun back to be his maid. This not only made Chen Qingyun very angry, but also angered Chen Daoran and Chen Qingfeng. In the end, Chen Jai Alien killed many monks from the Zhao family. Zhao Xiaod was defeated in the end. He did not hesitate to use his blood and essence to escape with his life. and he never dared to leave the clan again. After this battle, the Zhao family left an even worse reputation. Chen Daoren and Chen Qingyun also became more determined to fight against the Zhao family. It's a pity that Zhao Xiao has been doing the same thing since he escaped back to the Zhao family. Even when he went out, he was as sneaky as a mouse and was never caught by the monks of the Chen family. Otherwise, how could the Chen family keep him to this day? I had already chopped this scumbag with one sword. Zhao Xiao's lustful nature has a bad reputation both in the Zhao family and outside. When the female monks talked about him, they all wanted to take action to eradicate such a cancer. I just didn't expect that Zhao Xiao, who had been hiding for several years, would come to Zhenhai Island today. It really comes to your doorstep. As he was thinking in his mind, a cold light flashed in Chen Qingyun's eyes. With his hands behind his back, he secretly took out the earth puppet and escaped into the ground in the form of a mini-villain. Qingyun, they probably came to investigate after discovering this mine. They must not be allowed to leave. This matter is not trivial. Zhao Xiao reached the 6th level of qi refining a few years ago. We may not be their opponents. For safety reasons, while we delay them, we must contact the family quickly. Chen Qingyun's voice transmission came, and his tone was full of solemnity. Compared to the ignorant girl 5 years ago. After 5 years of hard work and growth, her mentality has become much more mature and she can clearly see the stakes in front of her. He would not be so reckless as to rush out of the formation and kill Zhao Xiao. If you are only at the 7th or 8th level of qi refining, there is no need to alarm the family. Chen Qingyun responded via voice transmission. The other party is probably here because of the mineral veins. Just because of this, the other party cannot leave here alive. Moreover, this person is still Zhao Xiao, and the other person is also the Zhao family monk. When it comes to killing this Zhao family monk, Chen Qingyun will not have the slightest pity in his heart. If you deserve to be killed, you must kill. Several monks from the Chen family died at the hands of the Zhao family. This is a feud between the two clans that is closely related to every member of the Chen family. If you let the other party leave, you are letting the tiger go back to its mountain. Oh, the Chen family is really big-hearted. I asked you, a little girl who is in the early stage of qi refining, to stay here, so you don't have to worry about being abducted and played with, and you can be the maid who warms the bed. Zhao Xiao did not change his nature. Before he said a few words, he began to belittle Chen Qingyun verbally. Call out. Chen Qingyun frowned at this, and without saying a word, he opened the corner of the formation, activated the green light sword, and gave this guy a blow. Zhao Xiao is not low in strength and has more combat experience than Chen Qingyun. HMPH. You are seeking death. Seeing the azure light sword coming, Zhao Xiao snorted coldly and decisively used his defensive weapon to resist. There was nothing wrong with his actions. If it were an experienced monk, he would not be 100% sure of dodging when faced with a flying sword coming at extremely high speed, and would use defensive weapons to resist the attack. But this time he was facing Chen Qingyun. Chen Qingyun's magical weapons have all been strengthened to the limit that they can control. This green light sword is also known for its high attack power and is Chen Qingyun's best weapon. This sword is so easy to block. Chapter 45, Counterattack. Clang. The Qingguang sword slashed on the defensive magic weapon, breaking the defense of the magic weapon with one sword. The powerful sword power made Zhao Xiao's expression change. His first level medium-grade magic weapon was just on the stage, and it was cut by Chen Qingyun's sword. This was unexpected. Before he could exclaim, he saw that the Qingguang sword continued to slash with its remaining power. This frightened Zhao Xiao into a cold sweat. He had no time to react. The next moment, the Qingguang sword slashed him fiercely, making a crisp sound. Huh? This sword did not show the situation of the opponent being split, which made Chen Qingyun raise his eyebrows. He looked closely and saw that the Qingguang sword was bounced away by a force and flew in the air. Looking at Zhao Xiao again, a bright yellow light rose from his body. It seems that the second defensive magic weapon has taken effect. This is indeed the case. At the critical moment, the protective armor on Zhao Xiao's body played a role, and blocked the residual attack of the Qingguang sword for him. This is a first-class magic weapon from Lingbao Mountain, a major weapon refining sect. After experiencing a battle in the sea, Zhao Xiao was scared by Chen Daoran and others and fled back to the Zhao family. He spent a lot of money to buy it. In order to at least have this layer of close-fitting armor to protect him when he encounters danger in the future. Unexpectedly, it played a role today and resolved this fatal sword for him. Second, uncle, this. Having not made a move, Zhao Yiming was a little dumbfounded when he saw Chen Qingyun and Zhao Xiao fighting in a flash. Chen Qingyun was only about the same age as him, so it would be fine if he was so decisive. How could he be so strong? With just one sword, he cut open the magic weapon of his second uncle. It forced him to rely on the protective armor to save his life. If he hadn't seen it with his own eyes today, he wouldn't have known that his second uncle was wearing such a set of protective spiritual armor. It seems that once bitten by a snake, one will be afraid of the rope for 10 years. What's the matter? What kind of flying sword is this? At this time, Zhao Xiao felt a palpitation, and his eyes were full of viciousness when he looked at Chen Qingyun. You are so fierce at such a young age. Today, I will teach you a lesson on behalf of your elders. At this moment, he no longer cared about the broken magic weapon. He didn't even want to pay attention to Chen Qingyun. He quickly controlled the black knife magic weapon and slashed at Chen Qingyun's neck. This black knife magic weapon has reached the first level middle grade. Under the urging of the Zhao family's skills, its power is also extraordinary. Zhao Xiao controlled the black knife magic weapon and burst out the black blade aura, which was spreading like evil spirits, and approached Chen Qingyun rapidly. Chen Qingyun, who was standing by, was surprised when she saw Chen Qingyun display his divine power. Unexpectedly. This was the second time she saw her cousin take action. He was so powerful that he could break Zhao Xiao's magic weapon with one sword. At this moment, she saw the black knife magic weapon whistling and slashing towards Chen Qingyun. The surprise on her face turned into worry in an instant. She didn't wait for her to take action and went to help Chen Qingyun. At the critical moment, Chen Qingyun stood still and quietly sacrificed a green shield. The spiritual armor shield was injected with magic power. A thick layer of green shield light rose on the surface and condensed into substance. It firmly protected Chen Qingyun behind it. There was a clang. The black knife magic weapon was firmly blocked by the spiritual armor shield and was shaken away. This made Zhao Xiao's pupils shrink. A first-class magic weapon? Having not yet recovered from his surprise at the green sword, Zhao Xiao's face turned extremely ugly when he saw the power of the spiritual armor shield. He quickly urged the black knife magic weapon to withdraw. Looking at Zhao Yiming, who had been watching the battle, he looked like a wooden man. Zhao Xiao was so angry that he shouted, "Look at you, you coward! Don't stand there stupidly, get started!" Being scolded by Zhao Xiao in front of outsiders, Zhao Yiming was very upset. Even when he glanced at Zhao Xiao from the corner of his eye, a trace of murderous intent flashed in his eyes. But he still listened to the advice and immediately sacrificed a silver flying sword. This sword is called Qingguang sword. It is the best-selling magic weapon made by Hunyuan Island that Liu Zilin mentioned. The grade of Qingguang sword has reached the first-class grade, and it is very popular among cultivators in the late stage of qi refining. It can be said that Qingguang sword has always been well received. Every time a batch of Qingguang swords appeared on the market, they would be quickly sold out. In order to stop cultivators from maliciously buying Qingguang swords and then selling them at a higher price, Hunyuan Island has already issued a statement. The statement clearly stipulates any cultivator who maliciously raises the price of Qingguang swords and deliberately hypes them will be sanctioned by Hunyuan Island. This also makes the price of Qingguang swords very stable, and the more they sell, the more popular they are. Zhao Yiming also spent a lot of effort to buy such a Qingguang sword. He has always used it as his main magic weapon and regarded it as a treasure. Whoosh! As soon as the Qingguang sword was slashed out, it attracted Chen Qingyun's attention. The Qingguang sword is such a popular magic weapon, and its appearance is also easy to recognize. Chen Qingyun recognized it at a glance. He did not neglect it at all. He continued to control the spirit armor shield with great vigilance. While controlling the Qingguang sword, He burst out with a fierce attack and went to meet the Qingyun sword in one fell swoop. With a ding sound. The two flying swords struck together. Visible to the naked eye, the Qingyun sword was knocked upside down and flew out, losing its power in one fell swoop. The light above the flying sword dimmed. "My flying sword!" No, Yiming shouted and hurriedly made the Qingyun sword fly back. "Idiot!" No, Yiming's move to retrieve the flying sword instantly caused Zhao Xiao to curse. When Zhao Yiming heard the scolding, he didn't understand what was going on. He continued to take back the flying sword, thinking only about picking it up, without caring about his situation. At this time, he saw a silver stream of light flying over and cutting straight into his body. Zhao Yiming did not expect or take any precautions at this time. At this time, someone would take action against him. Poof. Even though he was dodging, his right arm was cut off by a sword, and he couldn't help but scream. Turn out to be it was Chen Qingyun who saw the right opportunity. Seeing that Zhao Yiming was distracted and only focused on taking back the shadow-bearing sword, his flaw was exposed. Only then did he take action decisively, and activated a first-grade high-grade silver light ice sword talisman cleanly. My hand. No. Yiming subconsciously covered the wound on his right side with a painful expression. He retreated to the side in panic, leaning towards Zhao Xiao for shelter. Oh, shit. Seeing Zhao Yiming's bullshit combat experience approaching him at this time, Zhao Xiao's face became even more angry. This is equivalent to allowing the opponent to concentrate their attack points. Huchachichi. Before the green light sword moved in the air, 9 black rays of light appeared in a row, and shot towards Zhao Xiao and Zhao Yiming in unison. This is the Yulongzimu blade. The idea is not to launch the underground puppets to attack and expose the puppets until the critical moment. Chen Qingyun still wanted to test the power of these magical weapons. Only by experiencing actual combat can one know where the power limit of a magic weapon is. Zhao Xiao's combat experience is far superior to Zhao Yiming *s. When Zhao Yiming panicked, he slashed with the shadow sword and blocked several blades. On Zhao Xiao's side, he was protecting himself with a black sword and magic weapon, and he did not forget to retreat quickly towards the rear. There was only a tinkling sound. There was a sound of metal interlacing. The two sub-blades in the Yulongzimu blade avoided Zhao Yiming's chops. One pierced through his head. A sword pierced his chest. Ah! The Zhao family monk let out a hysterical scream and was killed instantly. Chapter 46 Puppets appear together. A person at the 7th level of Qi refining. A person at the 8th level of Qi refining. Chen Qingyun relies on a top-quality magical weapon. They have an advantage both in terms of quantity and the grade of the magic weapon. This makes his combat power comparable to that of a 7th level Qi refining monk. Fighting against Zhao Xiao, who was at the 8th level of Qi refining, he would not be at a disadvantage in the slightest. Zhao Yiming screamed and fell to the ground as his body was pierced by the black dragon blade. There was still a look of panic on his face. Before he died, he resented Zhao Xiao for urging him to do this, and ended up burying himself here. His previous murderous intention towards Zhao Xiao was also real. I even thought about what if I had the chance to do some dirty tricks during the battle. He wanted to get rid of Zhao Xiao with the help of monks from the Chen family. Afterwards. If he takes all the credit again, how much benefit will he get from the Zhao family? It's a pity that man's calculation is not as good as God's calculation. Originally, according to his strength, he could at least fight Chen Qingyun a few times and not fall down so quickly. Completely due to lack of combat experience. Faced with the crisis, he panicked and made no choice but to make mistakes, and was quickly killed because of his many flaws. Quite literally. In terms of combat experience, he is not as good as Chen Qingyun. Compared with Chen Qingyun, who has lived in 2 generations, there is a big difference. Waste. Seeing Zhao Yiming being beheaded so quickly, Zhao Xiao cursed in his heart and frowned tightly. The cultivation level accumulated by the pills is really just like a decoration and is of no use at all. Should have known so. You shouldn't explore this island with this piece of trash. Now, he had to fight 2 people at the same time, which undoubtedly increased his own danger. Thinking in the flash of lightning, Chen Qingyun urged the Hunyuan sword to cut through the sky and hit Zhao Xiao. trying to find a way to restrain the opponent's actions and assist Chen Qingyun in the battle. Facing Chen Qingyun's attack, Zhuxiantu responded with ease. He just urged the black sword weapon to attack, and then blocked the move. Before he could launch his attack, he heard the sound of breaking through the air again. Looking out of the corner of his eye, he saw 9 rays of cold light stabbing towards him in an irregular arrangement at extremely fast speeds. The Oolong Zima blade once again burst out with power. Headed by the Black Dragon Mother Blade, the tip of the blade reflected a cold light, and it approached Zhuxiantu in the blink of an eye. Zhuxiantu knew the power of such attacks and did not dare to challenge them head-on. He used the Zhao family's body skills to dodge. Oolong Zima missed the target, and then, under the command of Chen Qingyun, he fought with Zhuxiantu. During this period, Chen Qingyun's attacks also appeared from time to time, restraining Zhuxiantu. Faced with such a ferocious attack, Zhuxiantu could already deduce it. On this island, the only Chen family monks guarding the island are Chen Qingyun and Chen Qingyun. As long as these 2 people are killed, the mineral vein will definitely be in the bag. No matter how many mortals there are who mine the mineral veins, what's the use? Just massacre them all. When he thought of this, greed emerged in his heart. He secretly gritted his teeth and sacrificed a talisman, and activated it instantly. Whoosh. This is a first-grade, high-quality rainstorm golden needle talisman. After being activated, thousands of golden needles burst out, as densely packed as a heavy rain. This time, both Chen Qingyun and Chen Qingyun were within the attack range. Chen Qingyun's expression changed, and he was about to activate the earth puppet to resist the attack. At this time, a figure quickly appeared in front of her. A cyan shield light quickly unfolded. Spirit armor shield. A critical moment. Chen Qingyun stood in front of Chen Qingyun and used the spiritual armor shield to protect himself and Chen Qingyun. The defensive power of this first-class magic weapon is enough to withstand the attacks of thousands of golden flying needles. For a while. In a burst of crackling sounds, these golden flying needles were all blocked. At the same time. Chen Qingyun circulated his spiritual thoughts and activated the green light sword. At this moment, Qingguang sword seized the opportunity and approached Zhuxiantu in an instant. This caused Zhuxiantu to have no time to put away the golden needle talisman of heavy rain, and he took the sword firmly. His protective spirit armor even blocked this fatal blow for him. But the light of the spirit armor was dim, and its defensive power was weakened by 70% to 80%. If he was hit by another sword, he would not be able to withstand it, and the spiritual armor would be destroyed. Why are this kid's magic weapons so powerful? Zhuxiantu felt a strong sense of fear in his heart. He knew that if he continued to fight, he would have to answer here. This is not enough. The 2 Chen family monks in front of me have already sent a message to the family. If Chen Xianmin came to support him, he would not dare to fight in front of the foundation building monks. Just think of this. Zhuxiantu had no intention of fighting again. When he threw away the golden rainstorm needle talisman that had lost its power, he touched the storage bag with his palm. With a breath, he activated another mist talisman. This mist talisman is only a low-grade one. But it can play the role of isolating the monk's spiritual consciousness and eyesight. Suitable for confusing the enemy's hearing and hearing, launching sneak attacks or running away. Large waves of fog spread and rolled. The eyes of Chen Qingyun and Chen Qingyun were gray, and the shadow of Zhuxiantu could be seen anywhere. Not good. Chen Qingyun whispered. She didn't want Zhuxiantu to run away and tell the Zhao family about the mineral veins here, which would attract the Zhao family's covetous attention. Chen Qingyun remained calm. A chill flashed in his eyes when he saw these fogs appearing. This is what Zhuxiantu asked for. In the mist, a scream suddenly came, with a tone full of panic. Zhuxiantu was still trying to escape with the help of fog. Suddenly he was struck by a figure emerging from the ground with a sword. This sword directly split open his protective spiritual armor and cut through his physical body. Although this force did not split him open, it still left a sword wound on his body. which damaged his bones and internal organs. Chen Qingyun heard the scream and guessed that it was Chen Qingyun who was using the earth elemental puppet to take action. The earth puppet can hibernate underground and accurately determine the location of Zhuxiantu by listening to the sounds he makes when he moves. Zhuxiantu didn't see clearly what was attacking him. When he was panicking in his heart, he quickly endured the pain, gritted his teeth, activated the blood essence in his body, and used the forbidden escape technique. A scene from a few years ago happened again. The consumption of the monk's essence and blood will undoubtedly damage Zhuxiantu's body and longevity. It will be even more difficult to improve in cultivation in the future. But at the moment of life and death, I don't care about so much. Using the secret escape technique, he escaped towards the sea at high speed. From the side of Chen Qingyun and the two of them, it was impossible to see Zhuxiantu's figure clearly. Chen Qingyun was unfazed by this. A flash of aqua blue light covered by the mist. He flew out with a wave of his hand and fell into the ocean in the blink of an eye. When Zhuxiantu escaped, he also looked back to pay attention to Chen Qingyun's movements. Seen from a distance that Chen Qingyun didn't have the imperial weapon to pursue him, he couldn't help but sneer in his heart. Today's revenge will be repaid 100 times in the future. But at this moment, he was not thankful that he could escape. Wow! In the ocean in front of him, a blue figure suddenly rushed out of the water and hit him head-on. Chapter 47. Kill the enemy. A family member is coming. At this time, Zhuxiantu had already escaped more than 1,000 meters. He entered the ocean and was ready to control the flying magic weapon to soar into the sky. He did not look back at Chen Qingyun. The sudden appearance of the blue figure made his face change drastically and he felt a sense of horror. Who are you? The first thought in his mind was that someone had lurked in the ocean in advance. This was obviously to intercept him. You are not a human. What are you? But, looking at the other party's appearance, it didn't look like a living creature at all. Zhuxiantu was terrified and had no intention of fighting. He quickly changed direction and turned around to run to one side. What a pity. Facing this blue figure, he not only reacted half a beat slower, but also had a gap in strength. A blue sword light slashed diagonally. The aura emitted from it had reached the level that made him change color. No. With an instinctive scream of fear, Zhuxiantu had no power to fight back at all. Even if he held a black knife in his hand to resist, the magic weapon was cut off by this powerful force. The blue figure's expression remained unchanged, and he drew his sword again. The sword burst out the powerful strength of the 9th level of Qi refining, and split the terrified Zhuxiantu with one sword. Two swords killed the opponent. The blue figure turned into a stream of light and fell into the water with a splash, almost merging with the ocean. Immediately. Under Chen Qingyun's control, this water puppet, together with the earth puppet, returned to the storage bag on his waist and disappeared. These two puppets seemed to have never appeared. This was also the first time Chen Qingyun used the water puppet to fight. The effect was very obvious. In the ocean, the water puppet has an innate combat advantage. It can hide its body and play an unexpected effect. After killing Zhuxiantu, Chen Qingyun dragged his body back to the shore. The black knife was also salvaged. Seeing Zhuxiantu and Zhao Yiming being killed by Chen Qingyun was relieved. She couldn't help but call out to Chen Qingyun. Qingyun. She was surprised at Chen Qingyun's strength at this time. She wanted to praise him, but when the words came to her lips, she could only shout out this name. As for the blue figure that appeared in the ocean before, was it a water puppet? She guessed in her heart and didn't ask. If she knew what Chen Qingyun wanted to say, she would tell her actively. Okay, fifth sister. Chen Qingyun smiled, took off the storage bags of Zhuxiantu and the others, and released the fireball spell to quickly destroy the bodies. Now, the problem has been solved. After doing all this, Chen Qingyun called Chen Qingyun back to the formation. The formation closed and returned to the open state, as if nothing had happened. Next, the two did not rush to count the gains of this battle. After a quick discussion, they decided to report the matter to the family. Because it was uncertain whether other Zhao family cultivators would know about Zhenhai Island. Whether there would be another Zhao family cultivator coming to attack again. This matter was related to the family's mineral veins, so there was no room for slackness. After the communication flying sword flew out. Chen Qingyun then called Chen Qingyun to count the harvest this time. Compared with the previous bandit cultivators, Zhuxiantu and his companions did not have many valuable things in their storage bags. 142 spiritual stones. 4 magic tools. 1 golden needle talisman of heavy rain. 2 fog talismans. These can be used. The remaining skills all came from the Zhao family. Due to the existence of cultivation restrictions, these skills cannot be touched at all. They can be ignored directly. Moreover, even if they can be cultivated. Once the Zhao family's skills are cultivated, the origin of the skills will be exposed when they are used in battle. Enough to establish the reputation of killing Zhao family cultivators. It will also attract the Zhao family's attention and bring disaster upon themselves. It's better not to cause this trouble. Except for the Qingyang sword, the magic weapons of these two people must be destroyed. Chen Qingyun took the initiative to divide and gave up some of the spoils to Chen Qingyun. This Qingyang sword and the rainstorm golden needle talisman are given to you, the fifth sister, and we will share some of the spirit stones equally. After all, Chen Qingyun also participated in the battle. Chen Qingyun also wanted to improve the fifth sister's strength so that she could have some self-protection power. In terms of magic weapons. Because of this black knife magic weapon. And the other two flying sword magic weapons, Zhuxiantu and Zhao Yiming both carry them with them, so they are naturally used frequently. Outsiders use these magic weapons. Isn't it equivalent to saying to the outside world that these were taken by killing Zhuxiantu and Zhao Yiming? This kind of thing would not be done by any cultivator who has been in the world of immortal cultivation for a few years. Either take these magic weapons secretly to the market to sell them. Or hide them and use them less. As for Chen Qingyun, it is impossible to make such a low-level mistake. It is more practical to disassemble it directly. As for the Qingyang sword, it is a popular magic weapon and is used by many cultivators. It is impossible to recognize which one belongs to whom. When Chen Qingyun divided it like this at first, Chen Qingyun shook her head repeatedly, thinking that she should not take advantage of this. Zhuxiantu and Zhao Yiming were both killed by Chen Qingyun. Until Chen Qingyun handed her dozens of spiritual stones, the shadow-bearing sword, and the rainstorm golden needle talisman, and told her to take them well. She finally nodded slowly and accepted her thoughts. She was not pretentious and knew Chen Qingyun's intention of doing this. As his strength increases, he can better protect the mines. These things are indeed needed. In the afternoon of that day, after receiving the summons, Chen Xianmin took Chen Douhai to Zhenhai Island. The monks of the Zhao family set foot on Zhenhai Island. This matter is not trivial. This mine will eventually be exposed. Chen Xian looked solemn and asked what happened. Knowing that it was Zhuxiantu and Zhao Yiming who were the intruders, the old patriarch glanced at Chen Qingyun in surprise. I haven't seen him for 2 years, and my 6th grandson can kill 2 late-stage qi refining monks. This growth rate is undoubtedly amazing. In 10 years at most, Chen Qingyun can prepare for the foundation building period. Although the crisis has been resolved this time and the Zhao family monks have been eliminated, I am worried that the Zhao family will take action in the future. Chen Qingyun was the first to speak. Well, we will deal with this Zhao family monk, and we must defend Zhenhai Island. Chen Douhai said, taking this matter very seriously. I don't want to see the hematite fall into the hands of the Zhao family. Even if the Zhao family came to snatch it, he couldn't stand it. The Zhao family has been targeting the Chen family for many years. Now they are jealous of this hematite. Sooner or later there will be a battle between the two races. Qingyun, is the fiery sky sword talisman I gave you last time still in your hand? Chen Douhai asked with a smile. Here, I am. Chen Qingyun took out the fiery sky sword talisman, thinking that Chen Douhai wanted to take this talisman back. So I took the magic talisman and prepared to return it. No, 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 you keep it, you keep it. Chen Douhai shook his head repeatedly, dumbfounded. It's best if you don't use it. If you encounter any troublesome things in the future, you must not hold back and activate it directly. I gave you this talisman in the first place to protect your safety. If you can't make this thing again, you don't have to be reluctant to use it. Saving your life is the most important thing. Chen Daoran's words made the atmosphere less solemn. The current foundation-building monks of the Zhao family are only the clan leader Zhao Cheng. I don't expect him to dare to leave the clan easily just for this mine, leaving his family empty. Chen Xianming speculated. As for the other forces of the Zhao family, according to our information, there are 6 monks in the late stage of qi refining. Qingyun, you killed 2 of them, so there are only 4 left. The remaining mid-stage and early-stage qi refining ones are nothing to be afraid of. Good. Chen Daohai nodded in agreement. Well, just like Qingyun said. Chen Xianming continued. Qingyun is worried that the Zhao family will invade again. This is indeed worth worrying about. Daohai, for now, let's discuss how to prevent the Zhao family from attacking Zhenhai Island again in the future. Chapter 48 Family Summons. Complete defense. Although we try our best to cover up the hematite ore, there will always be mistakes somewhere and some news will be leaked. It's hard to be sure at the moment whether the Zhao family has discovered this place. Qingyun just said that the 2 Zhao family monks have been cleaned up. Whether or not only those 2 people know about it for the time being, we can't take the risk of only Qingyun guarding here. We still need to send 1 more person to assist in guarding. Chen Xianming said slowly. The 2 elders discussed this and finally came to a conclusion. Daohai, you will live and practice on Zhenhai Island for some time to come. Qingyun, I think your strength has reached the threshold of the 7th level of qi refining. When I go back this time, I will ask Dalen to refine some elixirs for you to improve your strength. In this way, we can help the family guard this place. After hearing the clan leader's arrangement, Chen Qingyun wanted to say that he still had 2,000 points of merit. If you take the family's elixir here, you can't take it in vain. Guessing that Chen Qingyun would have this idea, Chen Xianming laughed. As for how many merit points this elixir is worth, we'll tell you later. Pills are a scarce resource in the Chen family. Not to mention the elixir for improving cultivation. If it were given to Chen Qingyun for free, it would be inevitable that some people in the clan would feel it was unfair and would complain. Chen Xianming serves as the clan leader. I really have to try my best to level this bowl of water. Good. There was nothing easy to refuse in exchange for merit points. Chen Qingyun nodded. After leaving Chen Daohai behind to guard Zhenhai Island, Chen Xianming left on the same day and returned to his family. Chen Daohai joined the big family here as the 3rd guardian. As for Zhenhai Island, he basically comes here once a month and is already very familiar with it. Can also get along well with each other. In this way, time flies, and more than a month has passed in the blink of an eye. During this period of time, Chen Daohai, Chen Qingyun, and Chen Qingyun were all on guard against the Zhao family monks knocking on their door. But it turned out that they were overly worried. There was a calm situation outside Zhenhai Island, and there was no trace of the Zhao family monks. It seems that the Zhao family really does not know the existence of Zhenhai Island. This day. When Chen Qingyun came with his family to collect hematite, he also brought the pills for Chen Qingyun. This is the first-class purple qi enmeshed pill, specially used for monks in the middle stage of qi refining to break through to the later stage. In order to refine such elixirs, a lot of spiritual stones are spent just to purchase the medicinal materials. The price of a purple qi enmeshed pill on the market is about 450 spirit stones. There are 3 in this bottle, which is equivalent to 1,350 spirit stones, which is equivalent to a first-class magic weapon. Among resources of the same level, magical weapons are more expensive than talismans, and elixirs that assist in breaking through to great realms are more expensive than magical weapons. For example, a 2nd level foundation building pill costs 10,000 spiritual stones. This is also the reason why alchemists are so popular in Zhenhai. Pills can directly improve a monk's cultivation. The better the effect, the more expensive the price. This is the reason why it is expensive. It is worth mentioning. Several monks in the family, such as Chen Qingyun, Chen Qingzi, Chen Qingfeng, etc. When they first saw the purple energy pill, They all wanted to borrow some merit and exchange it for spiritual stones. After all, it is very rare and valuable for the family to be able to refine a bottle of this thing. Chen Dailin doesn't have much confidence in refining it. However, when they later learned from Chen Dailin that this elixir was specially refined for Chen Qingyun, a few people thought about it for a while and guessed the purpose. Most likely, this was made to consolidate Chen Qingyun's strength and guard Zhenhai Island. In addition, Chen Xianming held a clan meeting and talked about Zhao Xiaodan and Zhao Yiming's attack on Zhenhai Island at the meeting. Everyone also felt that Zhenhai Island needed stronger power to protect it. Chen Qingyun is indeed the most suitable candidate for these 3 purple energy pills. Moreover, Chen Qingyun also discovered a second level spiritual vein for his family a few years ago. Is there any problem with exchanging merit points for elixirs? No problem at all. That's all. The purple qi enmeshed pill was exchanged by the family for 1,350 points of merit to Chen Qingyun. In the next more than half a month, Chen Qingyun began to retreat, refining the purple qi enmeshed pill to rush through the past. I have to say that the effect of this purple qi enmeshed pill is really great. Just took one. Chen Qingyun's cultivation level broke through the bottleneck and reached the 7th level of qi refining in one fell swoop. Entering the ranks of late-stage qi refining monks. There are 2 left. After refining them together, Chen Qingyun's whole body was shaken with spiritual power. His cultivation level once again made a leap forward. 8th level of qi refining. Chen Qingyun opened his eyes, his face full of joy. He himself never thought that he could break through the realm of cultivation again and reach the 8th level of qi refining. With 3 purple qi enmeshed pills, my cultivation has broken through 2 small realms in a row. This purple qi enmeshed pill actually has such a good effect. My family is really willing to train me this time. I don't know how much effort it took to refine these 3 pills. Chen Qingyun's eyes were filled with light. It can be imagined that when the family refines the purple qi enmeshed pill, there will definitely be people in the clan who want this pill. The elixir finally came into his own hands. Chen Xianming must have explained the process. The clan leader was really good to me. The clan was willing to train me. Spring went and autumn came, winter came, and it was the end of the year. There was only 1 day left to guard the mine. After the clan discussed, Chen Qingyun successfully completed the clan task and guarded Zhenhai Island for 3 years. The clan decided to invite Chen Qingyun to attend the clan annual meeting to discuss some family affairs. The ups and downs of the past 3 years, everything he had experienced, one picture after another flashed in his mind. Chen Qingyun was a little emotional. 8 years have passed since I came to this world. Time flies. Time always passes so inadvertently. It's time to say goodbye. Think about the previous life. I went out to work in a first-tier city. Only during the Chinese New Year, I would go to great lengths to buy tickets and follow the army of people returning home to embark on the road to my hometown that I had been thinking about day and night. The Chinese New Year reunion is once a year, and the days of reunion are always so few and so short. And now I'm used to staying on Zhenhai Island. I meditate and practice on the island every day, and chat with Chen Qingyun. When I have nothing to do, I can go to the sea to catch fish, grow flowers, and bask in the sun on the beach. This kind of life is comfortable and peaceful. Now I have to return to the family, but I feel a little reluctant. I informed Chen Qingyun that I would return to the family in the near future to attend the family annual meeting. After hearing this, Chen Qingyun didn't speak for a long time. She finally nodded gently. Well, 3 years. Yes, 3 years go by so fast. Neither of them said anything more. Chen Qingyun took out the formation plate and gave it to Chen Qingyun. He reminded her to remember to open the formation to protect herself and the mortals on the island. The next morning, the sun rose in the east, the clouds were dyed, and the morning glow was reflected on the sea, rendering the seawater orange-red. Chen Qingyun set off to return to the family. Chen Qingyun put down the affairs at hand, took time out, and came out silently to see him off. She stood on the beach with a pair of bright and lively eyes, watching Chen Qingyun fly the Thian boat out of Zhenhai Island and slowly disappear into the sky illuminated by the rosy clouds. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, It means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 49 Annual Meeting. The future of the Chen family is promising. He set foot on Spirit Sword Island again and returned to his family. The new year is approaching. The family has added a bit of excitement. Couplets were pasted in many places and large red lanterns were hung. Some clan members who went out to practice and perform family tasks also took time to return to the family. While they were attending this annual party, they also wanted to spend the new year with their families. Although the lifestyle of immortal cultivators is very different from that of ordinary people, the habit of celebrating festivals is still engraved in their bones and has not been abandoned. Chen Qingyun has been in this world for so long, and this is the first time he has seen such a lively life in his family. He can often see many family members walking around and busy. The family atmosphere is harmonious. Qingyun is back, and everyone has arrived. Let's hold the annual meeting today. Chen Xianming saw Chen Qingyun and spoke, calling for the clan members to gather in the clan meeting hall. Just for a moment. 9 people gathered in the meeting hall. All the middle and late Qi refining monks in the family participated in this annual meeting. Compared to the clan meeting 3 years ago, there was a new face at the meeting. This person is a family member who has been promoted to the 4th level of Qi refining. He belongs to the King generation and his name is Chen Qingyun. It is a good thing that the family has a newly promoted mid-stage Qi refining monk. Okay, everyone, please take a seat. Someone said. It was Chen Xianming who spoke. The person who presided over this annual meeting was still this conscientious old patriarch. At this annual meeting, I want to talk about a few things that involve the future development of the family. Chen Xianming looked serious and looked around at everyone. After hearing the words, everyone looked serious and listened attentively. Only Chen Xianming was heard saying slowly. The first thing is about the spiritual veins of Psychedelic Island. Chen Xianming's eyes fell on Chen Qingyun, and he smiled appreciatively. Everyone also knows that Qingyun accidentally discovered that spiritual vein when he was out, and later reported it to the family. This is how the Chen family has this second level spiritual vein. As soon as this statement came out, everyone's eyes fell on Chen Qingyun, with both envy and appreciation. This is a good thing that is beneficial to the family. No one will be jealous or think that Chen Qingyun did something wrong. They are also envious in their hearts. Why haven't they encountered such a good opportunity? When everyone was looking at Chen Qingyun just smiled lightly and responded to everyone's gaze. The old patriarch also continued to speak. Qingyun's contribution to the family is obvious to everyone. Some of the family's resources in the past 2 years have also been allocated to the development of the spiritual veins of Psychedelic Island. For example, the spiritual field planting has produced a bumper harvest of spiritual rice, bringing more than 500 spiritual stones to the family. So, I plan to open up wasteland there and expand spiritual field planting in the next year. The corn sprouts grown by the Chen family do not have much production capacity, and they are all used for food by the family monks. With the emergence of spiritual veins on the Psychedelic Island, there are more spiritual lands and spiritual rice can be grown in large quantities. This is more than a year. The family is the main proponent of spiritual rice cultivation on Psychedelic Island. 2 senior monks were sent to guard and plant spiritual fields on Psychedelic Island, with good results. In the future, spiritual field cultivation will be expanded there to produce more spiritual rice. This can increase the family's economic income and is also a long-term and stable way to make money. After hearing this, everyone had no objection to this decision. It is the safest way for the family to increase their income through farming. The risks are low and it can also improve their food supply, which is a dream come true. In addition to the spirit fields, we can also look into raising some spirit fish near the Psychedelic Island in the future. I have been thinking about this recently to see which kind of spirit fish is the most suitable to breed. If you have any ideas, you can come and talk to me at any time. Chen Xianming talked about what happened on the psychedelic island for a while. The subsequent topic began to talk about everyone's cultivation. There are only 2 years left before the Star Sea monster tide. In the past 3 years, everyone's strength has improved, which is what Chen Xianming is most concerned about. It is also the issue of greatest concern. So far, among the qi refining stage monks in the family, the ones with the highest level of cultivation are all here. Including me, there are 9 in total. Chen Xianming glanced at everyone and said slowly, "You all should report your cultivation level." "Qingfeng, let's start with you." When Chen Qingyun heard this, he nodded immediately and said, "I am currently at the 5th level of qi refining." As Chen Qingyun spoke, one family monk after another began to report their cultivation level. Among them, the ones with the highest cultivation level are Chen Douhai and Chen Qingyun, who are at the 8th level of qi refining. Next is Chen Dalan, who is at the 7th level of qi refining. Chen Daoran, 6th level of qi refining. The remaining 4 are all at the 4th or 5th level of qi refining. It is worth mentioning when everyone learned that Chen Qingyun's strength had reached the 8th level of qi refining. Except for Chen Douhai, everyone present looked surprised and looked at Chen Qingyun. "Qingyun, you have been promoted to the 8th level of qi refining. When did it happen?" Chen Xianming asked, looking at Chen Qingyun with excitement on his face. "Last spring," Chen Qingyun said. Okay. When Chen Xianming heard this, he couldn't help but say 3 good words. The other tribesmen also looked at Chen Qingyun with happy faces, admiration or envy. Chen Douhai knew about Chen Qingyun's breakthrough in cultivation because he guarded Zhenhai Island. At this time, he looked at the surprised expressions of everyone with a smile on his face, and he was very happy in his heart. When he learned that Qingyun had been promoted to the 8th level of qi refining, he was also very excited. It can be said that I have been happy for several days. I feel that the young people of the Chen family are formidable and the future is promising. Qingyun, well done. Chen Daoran also looked a little excited. I really didn't disappoint your second grandfather, the 8th level of qi refining. Good. Your strength has already caught up with your grandpa Daoran. As early as more than 2 years ago. When I learned that Chen Qingyun had become a weapon refiner. He was happy for a long time. Now, I see Chen Qingyun's cultivation level rising so quickly. Within 3 years, he had risen to 3 minor realms in a row. This made his jaw drop. At the same time, he was also sincerely happy for Chen Qingyun. At the 8th level of qi refining, Qingyun is only 19 years old now. Chen Dalan couldn't help but speak. In 5 or 6 years at most, our Chen family will have a new foundation building monk. Recalling the purple qi enmeshed pill that was previously refined for Chen Qingyun. Looking at Chen Qingyun's current progress in cultivation, Chen Dalan was very pleased. Qingyun did not live up to his ardent expectations, and his cultivation far exceeded the expected results. At this time, Chen Qingyun, Chen Qingyun and others, when they recalled the family's original distribution of the purple qi in Maidan, they no longer complained. Chapter 50, Foundation Building Plan, Accumulating Strength. In 3 years, he was promoted to 3 minor realms in a row. This is definitely a genius in the clan, and everyone in the clan has to admire him. There is no doubt that Chen Qingyun has a bright future and is the foundation seed of their Chen clan's immortal clan. The clansman who has the best chance of advancing to the foundation building stage in the future. So far, the Chen family has only one foundation building monk, the patriarch Chen Xianming. If there is one more person, the Zhao family can be suppressed not only in terms of family strength. It can also enhance the family's external influence. The improvement of the overall strength of the family will also make it easier to open source resources, sell resources, etc. in the future. They are also a foundation building family. The difference between one foundation building family and 2 foundation building families is huge. Regarding the matter of the second foundation building monk, everyone thought that it would be at most 5 years. Within 5 years, the family can definitely give birth to a second foundation-building monk. Chen Qingyun couldn't help but have a wry smile on his face as he listened to everyone's discussion. Building the foundation within 5 years, it seems that the tribe has great expectations for themselves. But according to his own plan, facing the wave of star sea demons that will come in 2 years, this sense of crisis strikes. He doesn't want to build the foundation in 5 years, but wants to hit the foundation building period in 2 years. Once the strength reaches the foundation building stage, on the one hand, it can have greater self-protection power and upgrade the magic weapons and puppets to the second level, thereby greatly improving combat effectiveness. On the other hand, it is the ability to protect the tribe. In the foundation building period, this must be attacked hard. Well, Qingyun has the ability to build a foundation, which is a good thing. I just want to get a foundation establishment pill for him. We have to work hard in the past few years. We can't just talk without doing anything and bury his talent and hard work. Chen Xianming sighed slightly, talking about the family's pain point, which is that they have no ability or money to buy the foundation establishment pill. Regarding the issue of elixirs, someone turned their attention to Chen Dalin. As a family alchemist, it was obviously most appropriate to ask him where he obtained the foundation establishment pill. Don't just look at me either. Chen Dalin still doesn't know what everyone is thinking when they look at him like this. He immediately touched his head and smiled. Although the foundation establishment pill is a second-level elixir, there are also pill recipes on the market, but the refining materials require the use of third-level demon pills, as well as various rare herbs. These alchemy materials are not easy to buy, and the prices are not cheap. The most important thing is that even if you give me the foundation building pill formula and refining medicinal materials, according to my alchemy skills, I have no confidence in refining it. Chen Dalin's words also expressed the helplessness of many immortal cultivating families in Xinghai. The reason why the foundation establishment pill is valuable is that its refining cost is high, and the other reason is that it requires a second-level alchemist to refine it. Materials, elixir recipes, and alchemy techniques are all indispensable. Any of these would be difficult for an ordinary cultivating family. The 5 major sects of Xinghai will not monopolize the market for foundation building pills, and will even put foundation building pill prescriptions on the market regularly. But how many cultivating families have the ability and capital to refine foundation building pills after receiving the pill prescriptions? As time goes by, if casual cultivators and family cultivators want foundation building pills, they can only take the lead in obtaining them from the 5 major sects, Yishi Island and other large markets. Therefore, it is difficult to get a foundation building pill. This also led to many 9th-level qi refining monks seeing no hope of obtaining the foundation establishment pill, so they could only grit their teeth and build their foundation without relying on the foundation establishment pill. This will undoubtedly come with huge risks. Once the foundation building is unsuccessful, the meridians will be severed, qi and blood will be exhausted, and death will occur. Often out of 10 qi refining monks, only 2 can successfully build the foundation, and the probability is even lower. Without a foundation building pill, one can only try to find other natural and earthly treasures that can assist in foundation building and reduce risks to build the foundation. But where are these natural treasures so easy to find? This is also the reason why the Chen family has only one foundation building monk, Chen Xianming, until now. Whether Chen Qingyun can obtain the foundation building pill in the future is a question. Regarding the matter of foundation building, everyone discussed it and realized that the family could not help Chen Qingyun, and they suddenly felt a sense of powerlessness. Hey, it would be great if the family could produce the foundation building pill on its own. This is what I hope to do the most. Once the future comes true, I can laugh out of my dreams. Chen Xianming smiled bitterly a few times and finally stopped discussing this topic. Chen Qingyun listened quietly and silently took note of the old patriarch's hope. Okay, there are only 2 years left before the Star Sea Monster Tide. It's very urgent. In the past 2 years, the resources that the family will provide you will not be cut off, and you must work hard yourself. Everyone nodded silently after hearing this. Those present will basically participate in the battle. On this topic, Chen Xianmin didn't say much, knowing that everyone knew what was going on. If you talk too much, people will find it verbose and not want to hear it. Finally, it's about Zhenhai Island. Chen Xianming looked at Chen Qingyun with a smile on his face. The hematite mine has been mined for 3 years and has brought the family a total income of 19,000 spirit stones. Excluding most of the spiritual stones consumed by the family's operations, the annual net profit is around 3,000 spiritual stones, and it is already stable. Besides, the red iron sword has brought us more than 3,600 spiritual stones in net profit in 3 years. The family is already developing in a good direction. With this income, the family's economy has improved a lot. This is also the result of everyone's joint efforts. There were several members of the clan who participated in the hematite incident. There is no need to mention Chen Qingyun. Next are Chen Douhai, Chen Qingfeng, and Chen Qingzi. Chen Qingyun's contribution is undoubtedly the greatest. While managing the mining of the ore veins, she also takes care of refining the hematite sword for the family. The hematite swords she refined are of extremely high quality, and among the first-level lower-grade magic tools. They are top-notch. Hearing that the benefits brought by hematite are considerable and long-term stable, everyone is happy. They also saw the effect of the hematite sword. Including several new cultivators in the family who have chosen to use the hematite sword as the first magic tool in their lives. The economic improvement of the family in the past 3 years has also brought benefits to them. It can be felt very intuitively. The family has a lot more storage of elixirs. There are more family resources that can be used for exchange. The clan members can also exchange some spirit stones for cultivation and purchase cultivation resources outside. The originally empty clan treasury gradually became full. After talking about the income from the hematite industry, Chen Xianmin smiled at Chen Qingyun and continued. Qingyun has successfully completed the 3-year mission of guarding Zhenhai Island. Now, let's discuss who will replace Qingyun to guard Zhenhai Island. The spiritual mine industry of this family is very important. The family will eventually choose one of you to guard it. This matter cannot be sloppy. As soon as Chen Xianmin finished speaking, everyone nodded secretly and began to think about who to send. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.